Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to more Epic League Division 1 European CIS action. I'm going to be your weekend host, Tsunami. Just got nothing better to do. Even if I did have something better to do, I would still wish that I was watching the Dotes with two other fine gentlemen, Trent T. Governor. It's a pleasure to have you guide me through more Epic League action. You guys have been crunching the numbers. You guys have been watching a lot of stuff. How's it going, you guys?
It's good. We're hanging out. We come in the morning. We're not sure what to expect. Depending, we kind of feel out the vibe. This is a good vibe. I like this weekend thing that's happening. I don't know. Maybe gonna cut loose a little bit here. Maybe the suit jackets will come off later. I don't know. Cinderin's got some pretty wild streams happening. So who knows what's gonna go down here? That's all I'm saying.
Oh god. To be clear though, it's been an absolute bloodbath, right? This group stage so far. Like realistically, if anyone wants to predict like where people will be standing, I don't think anyone would be right now. Viking, Navi up top, and then Alliance and Liquid at bottom. Like, it's early days though. We've got a lot left to go, but it's just spicing up. It's spicing up.
We haven't even seen much of this team that we're going to be looking at today. It's going to be Virtus Pro versus Mudgolems. VP have only played 2 matches throughout this entire group stage, the least out of anyone else. So they've been kind of a little bit under the radar. They're still 2-0, so they're looking good. They beat OG and they beat Just Error, but I don't think that they've been fully tested quite yet. Meanwhile, Mudgolems have run through the entire gamut. They have done 4 matches. They're currently split in the middle of the groups right now. So in theory, could be pretty even right now. From what you saw of VP Trent in the first day and like a week later, because they had like 7 days between their games. What do you think about this VP roster, the Prodigy promotion? Do you think they were worthy of it or what?
Yeah, the very first day they kind of crushed. It was very impressive because they just like straight up 2-0'd OG. And then we had that big break, and then of course everyone's kind of excited for the Just Era one, right? Just because like the simple names versus the
grudge match.
Yeah, exactly, right. So it's like basically who gets the VP roster, kind of.
Exactly.
And then those were like a little bit more even. So meanwhile, though, Mudgolems they've gone 3 games in all their series too. So not only have they played a bunch of series, but they're also going the distance in all of these series as well. So I would say Virtus Pro definitely deserve the promotion, though, to answer your question. I am super excited about this roster. I think it's one of the best ones that they've managed to. I feel like Navi and VP kind of had the same issue, right? Where they were like trying to get back to where they once were. VP obviously got it done a lot faster by the looks of it. But both of these lineups and team names have very exciting rosters right now.
The oldest player on VP is 20.
Yeah.
I just can't get over that.
Prodigies.
Honestly. I understand. Like, it's just like you look at them, like, the confidence and just the maturity that you need to have across those players to be able to, play at this level. Just, it's a lot of respect towards them. But you mentioned about how much they've played. The 2 series they have played, they've won games around a Void, a Magnus, or a Void and a Magnus. All right. So we haven't really seen much depth from them. And there's been one game that they didn't have, the Void or the Magnus, and guess what? They lost. So I'm looking forward to today to seeing what else they have in their playbook. And will Mudgolems ban the Void and the Magnus?
Ooh. Well,
yeah,
I don't know.
In terms of hero flavor, they also were going to Juggernaut a couple of times, and Juggernaut seems like a hero that may be on the rise. It seems strange that in the last few weeks of the patch, new strategies start to emerge, new heroes start to emerge. I know Insania tweeted that, we need a new patch whenever Lina and Viper start getting good. So seeing as how so much of this group stage has played out, have any new heroes been making any surprises for you guys, or does it seem to be playing out how you were kind of expecting?
I think part of that is also just like you get to a point where all of the good ones are getting banned. Like the only time Jug is showing up is when we're at the end of the draft. And it's like, well, there goes Spectre and Anti-Mage and Faceless Void and Phantom Assassin and Lifestealer and maybe even a PL or a Slark ban in there too. And they're like, there's got to be another carry around here somewhere.
Juggernaut's like, please pick me. And like, we are against SD, Wyvern, Omni. Guess we have to. It's like, it's pretty rough times out there in that carry department. Okay, so Mudgolems, they don't ban out the Mag and the Void because guess what? They first pick the Void.
Yeah, but did you see that sass from Virtus Pro? We knew you were gonna pick Faceless Void. They instantly they're clicking that Viper button as fast as they can, right?
Yeah,
we know you're not special.
Is Viper still a trap? Because I know Viper v Spectre initially, like in the first few stages of the patch, was like, oh yeah, a break mechanic would be guaranteed. And now it seems like Viper has kind of been relegated to more niche, not apparently as niche as Anti-Mage though. So I don't know. To me, Viper has kind of fallen off. I'm surprised that VP like it as a first phase, especially seeing as that there's nothing really worth breaking quite yet. I guess Enchantress has some stuff, and yeah, being able to take off the Bash of Void, but still though.
What are we giggling at, Trent, there? What are we giggling at?
I just love save right now, dude. Do you see how fast he's mashing these picks?
Yeah.
He's not even using a single second.
He just
trying
like,
to get
I see
in their
Bambi,
heads.
I go AM. Yeah, but
Flowchart.
But that is where, when I mentioned the whole idea of what does VP have, like we've only seen realistically like these two kind of grounding cores, right, that open up the draft. So it is interesting to see how they approach newer drafts. And when you were mentioning about the Viper, is it kind of that trap pick? What's the situation there? I think it's very much a very strong dominant offlane, but we are seeing recently how teams are playing against it, where they're tri-laning it, they're trying to put some more pressure into the hero, because Mudgolems the other day, they had this offlane 33 Viper, and it just did nothing. It was like 7k net worth, it didn't really have any game, simply because of the tri-lane, and then it opens up the game and Viper can't, catch back up. So it will be interesting to see how Viper on VIRTUS Pro, how they play around that, and if Mudgolems also want to look towards some type of tri-lane, probably not with the Void though.
Or if they end up like 5ing the Viper or something too, or some support role. I don't know if you want to 5 it with an AM, but I mean,
maybe that's true.
There have been discussions of the 5 Viper quite a bit.
5 seconds remaining.
We're getting to the point of the patch where like everyone's like so bored of the heroes. Like, okay, the heroes are good, but how can we now flex them to new positions?
We
It's
had
like,
Kuro 5 Invoker. I mean, anything's happening now. So
because there was that interview with OG, right, where Seb was talking about how they haven't tried to like reinvent the game with like the current tournaments and stuff. They haven't really looked to like innovate as well, and they're just happily playing together and just pushing with what they've got type of thing. And it's probably a product of obviously COVID and the boot camp. So it will be interesting, like if the teams who are predominantly online teams, if they have that desire and like look towards innovation. We haven't really seen it too much in the tournament. I think Viking showed it with the safe lane Death Prophet, and maybe with some of these like position 5 flexes, but it will be interesting if any of those teams want to take kind of that mantle and go, okay, follow us and look at how we can use this very kind of old meta now.
speaking of things we haven't seen often, it's Tiny. This guy's dead. He crumbled to dust and gravel and just got swept away as all these other 4s came about, became far more, well tuned, I guess, for the current patch. We talked about him yesterday in the terms of just like, if your whole team doesn't want to run around and kill people, it's not really that much fun to be position 4 Tiny, which makes sense. So when everyone's like stacking a bunch of camps and we're looking towards farming more so than like action and heavy bursts and everything, you can get why there might be some Tiny issues.
It's also a product of the heroes teams are like counting as like the meta, right? Like the Void, the Magnus, even like Morphling, Lifesteal, etc. Like these heroes, you don't really want to play Tiny into them. Maybe a Tiny core into Morphling, but the rest of them, you feel good for maybe like 10 minutes of the game. And you get to that big critical point and you're like, guys, I'm just a Tiny. I can't kill them, please. Where's my team? Like, I can see why it's maybe fallen off a little bit.
That's one of the saddest moments in Dota. When you're snowballing as that kind of a hero, a nuker, and you just think the game's under your thumb and it's so easy. And then that one time you go for that Avatos combo, they don't die and they turn and they stun you and you're like, oh no, guys, my game's over. Team.
You look across to like a very underfarmed carry, like, oh no, I stole kills, didn't I? All the way
Most
down.
of the other 4 positions can at least like revert back to being a team fighter, but Tiny, if he loses that pickoff potential, then he falls off immensely, because Save's other go-to heroes, Phoenix and ET, at least have a little bit more of that flexibility in the middle areas when you start falling off, but Tiny's pretty all in. But if you're picking an anti-mage first phase, then you're probably all in to begin with.
True. And they go for the Doom. The get rid of your 4 protect 1, well, we're gonna subtract 1, and somehow that equals 0. That's just Dota math.
Okay, sure, yeah, I'm with you.
Yep. I think that pretty much covers everything.
I'm speechless.
If you guys just want to move on,
moving on. Yeah, exactly. But okay, so in regards to the Doom pick, of course, they can potentially put it between the mid and off lane. Here, they now pick up Invoker, so this will most likely be now the 4 or the 3 for Mudgolems now if they push it deeper. And I want to look more towards VIRTUS Pro because we don't actually know, right, between like, is the Tiny the mid, is the Viper the mid, like what's happening, and their second pick. So they actually have a little bit more, like a lot more control in this draft, in my opinion. So Mudgolems, they have to decide, what do we want? We saw this position 4 Doom run from Viking, and it pretty much did nothing, and they got stumped that game. they then recovered from that, and
Although I will say, whenever I see this scenario of like, okay, they have a lot of flexibility in Virtus Pro, the one thing I look for on something like Mudgolems is like, okay, but how good are all of their heroes in the current meta in each of their positions? And it's just like, sure, you guys get a counter pick, but we have like some of the best synergy in Dota right now between
that's
like
true.
Void and Invoker, right? You always see one of the two get banned when the other gets picked. The game's so easy once you have the Aghanims. They have Ench, you can cover so many different options. Like, I'd be feeling okay.
Yeah, like they're probably feeling okay, but I think for Mudgolems, their issues right now is like how do they make these early moves without the Doom or the Chrono? Like they don't really have this early damage to bring out on the map, and that's where an anti-mage will thrive. An aggressive, even mid lane Tiny or this off-lane Viper, like they would thrive in those positions, right? Because Mudgolems aren't going to suddenly be beating down your towers or looking for these quick fights. They're going to be kind of surviving in lanes. Maybe if the Doom has a good game and can start like leading the tempo with this other pick from Mudgolems, but
yeah, what is that pick? Is it like I don't know if they go for like Grim? Could be kind of cool. If they could like just smoke up and go for ganks.
Hero, right? Is like Rubik still available? I just want to see like
oh yeah, Rubik into Viper
aggressive
and AM. Exactly. I can't believe Rubik's still, they'll probably ban Rubik. They banned SD, which is a Milan hero.
Yeah, it
Rubik
gives them that kind of
safe.
cheap fight to play around, and also when your team doesn't have good spells, steal them. That's a good life philosophy, I guess.
Milan did play a cheeky Skywrath, but that was primarily because it was against a Morphling and they wanted an instant cast silence. But if you want even more stuff to put into a Chrono, Mystic Flare wouldn't be bad.
That is troublesome amounts of cheekiness, though, because if you ever have a bad point in the game, this anti-mage will be licking his lips, looking at you like,
that's the decoy, though. Then Invoker's like, yeah, go void the Skywrath. I'm not an issue. I'm just an Invoker. Don't worry about me.
Provide too many options.
Speaking of which, what is Doom's public enemy #1 right now? I'm guessing at some point, obviously, it's going to be anti-mage. But the first few Dooms, are you just exclusively saving them for AM, or are you just going to wait until someone comes to your lane, as they do end up picking up the Rubik?
Yeah, it depends if they think he's going to join the fights, I guess, right? I actually don't know if they even noticed Rubik was still in, because I would not have expected Rubik to be this. When you mentioned it, I was like, there's no way Rubik's not banned. It's like
looking up and down the band, it's like, oh my, wow.
10 seconds.
Although the Phoenix obviously has such good synergy with the Void that I guess that was fair either way. So lots of nice options left there.
Back to Tsunami's question about what the Doom's looking for. It's about just setting the pace of the game where whatever lane you're in, you can cleanly find that kill and then pressure the objective that you're near. They're going to be looking to use catapult waves primarily because they don't have this innate tower damage. So just like having an overwhelming presence in one side of the map is what they're looking for, rather than like the Doom's chasing around the map for the anti-mage or the Doom's chasing for a Viper kill. It's just going to be locked down certain locations to allow Skitter to farm behind.
Yeah, because their push potential is not great right now on Mudgolems, so they're great at fighting, but when it comes to taking objectives after the fact, seems like they might struggle a bit.
Yeah. They're really like slow scaling kind of lineup, which will be like slow and steady, and then eventually when they get to 1 or 2 items, it's going to be like skyrocket, and the team fight and that presence will be insane. But for VP, they can play around that with that early aggression, break down the map of Mudgolems, and then try and play into that. So for their final pick, they are discussing, is the Viper the off lane? Is it the mid? And they pick up a Snapfire to not help us in any way.
Probably is.
Because it was offlane Viper.
Yeah, nice. Okay. So
that makes the most sense. They needed some way to, like, some sort of actionable mid hero, right? So just get the Aghanims and then give you good options during the fights. You can pull people out of Chrono with the Ags. That's kind of cool.
You have to be pretty close, though.
It's a very good Rubik game now, though, you know? Like, we mentioned so many issues around Mudgolems. And, like, right now, the weakness is, like, pre-6. When Mudgolems get to 6, their tower defense comes online because I think this Rubik, if he has a good game, he can kind of fix a lot of Mudgolems' problems. And does VP have enough fight in them? Like,
and it's also the same issue that Lacoste pointed out yesterday, right? This idea of like picking Void, first phase Void, and there's nothing that saves from Chrono. Yeah, I mean, there's Snapfire eggs, but obviously that's like a total meme. That's it. I mean, if you get Chrono, doesn't anyone die? I mean, other than AM, obviously.
But that's what VP's
the best
looking.
Defense, a strong offense.
Exactly.
Kill the Void.
Don't know if you guys watch Cobra Kai on Netflix, but that's what they're teaching us right now.
But
yeah,
it was just kill the Batman. I don't know.
But yeah, that's
so
what
which
VP
way you're going. Yeah, VP, Mudgolems, what you feeling, Tigov?
I think VP, they have this amazing aggressive lineup to then unlock an anti-mage game, but I think they're going to eventually run into a brick wall, which is a Doom or a Chrono. So I think Mudgolems are going to take this with that kind of late game potential for sure.
Yeah, I think it's hard for Virtus Pro to get all the right fights. So I would say that this game just looks a lot easier for Mudgolems.
But like if they do though, they could like this is the type of game where VP can just showcase how like mechanically amazing they are. Because if they outplay and just hold that momentum, suddenly you don't ever see like the Kronos come online, the Invoker get his like space. So I could
It's
easily
mechanical.
see VP walk this. Yeah.
And it's tactical too, where you're trying to find, like, you have to make those fights happen. I think that's the hardest part for them, because I feel like it looks really easy for Mudgolems to just dodge until their ultis are back up.
Yeah.
Can't dodge when you're getting spit at from 3,000 units away, but we'll have to see what happens in the game as we send it over to our casters, Nomad and 1437. And don't forget to check out the odds
EGB.com.
on EGB.com. That's right, Trempfax, why didn't you tell me? Come on, man. Get it together.
Got it.
Oh, beautiful.
Very much. Yeah, let's get into it. Epic League beginning today's Division 1 matches with a rock versus a bear. Theban, who's gonna come out on top?
I'm all in on Mudgolems here, Nomad, and
Team Rock.
for one particular reason, and I was telling you just about it earlier before this game started.
Oh, good luck, kid, in the chat. Oh my goodness, guys, have fun, Skidder. Good luck, kid. My goodness,
Wow.
that sounds like some spice. But yeah, AM in your competitive games, in your pub games, not enjoying it too much.
I think this hero is extremely bad in the current meta, and there's so many physical damage and hero boosting stuff that's around that AM just becomes so weak against those things. Like right now in this game, Alacrity on top of this Faceless Void, how's the AM going to be able to man fight into this Void at all? And on top of that, he's also playing into Doom. I think Mudgolems could have maybe picked a little bit more physical damage than they have right now, but I think they have just enough to make this anti-mage life a living hell. Not only that, they actually first phased it. This is so suicidal from people.
Yeah, they're really putting their faith in this anti-mage. So you're voting for the Mudgolems because you're still salty about losing a pub. Got it. Alrighty, let's get into this one as Skidder comes down to bottom, laning into DM on his offlane Viper as a Fata, and they've traded some hits here on that Tiny and that Enchantress. But overall across the lanes, I'm thinking it's probably going to be a bit of an advantage to Virtus Pro, honestly. Would you agree with that?
They need it. They need to be able to win the lanes with the kind of heroes that they have. If they fall behind, I think Mudgolems are just going to keep running at them. So even if these lanes are not most optimal for them, or like they might not be in a good matchup, they got to find a way to win it. Anti-mage
for this laning phase.
Exactly. This anti-mage hero, like, he has to win his lane in order to have a game. So top lane, they do have a Doom, not a hero that applies a lot of pressure to the enemy carry. So we'll see what 33 manages to do here. He is scaling up the Scorched Earth level 1, not something you normally see.
Yeah, and looks like he's trying to grab the creep wave out from under the tower, the cheeky boy. He's even going to take a couple of tower hits from this one. Doesn't care, though. He's got that creep wave, and he's going to drag it off behind his tower with a party horn to cheer him on as he conga lines those creeps away. Meanwhile, Epileptic Kid, though, he's doing a similar thing and just grabbing the creeps. Oh, no, I thought he was going to wrap it behind his tower to connect with his creep wave, but no, just brings him under the tower. Doesn't want to get harassed too badly by Milan, it seems.
And it's a very good decision.
Saved in the bottom lane, being right-clicked down, and they're going to be able to finish off with an impetus. Or the early points and impetus from Fada gives them the damage they need to draw first blood onto this zero-armored Tiny.
And this is why we haven't been seeing Tiny a whole lot lately. Most of the position 5s are pretty used to playing against this hero now. They really understand how weak he is in the first level. Before he hits level 2, you can just keep on harassing him. And that's exactly what happened bottom. First blood to the Enchantress. I mean, Skidder would have liked that, but you take whatever kill you can get.
Absolutely, yeah. Nice bash to get that last hit. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, got a bit of shenanigans going down as Epileptic Kid's going to have to blink himself away. Milan keeping that harass going. But, yeah, just trying to wrestle him as much as possible, in this top lane. There's an Epileptic Kid laning into 33 and Milan. How's our middle lane going, though? It's Boromir on the Invoker, going for that Crosswex Invoker, laning into GPK on that Snapfire. Yeah, and feel like it's a slight advantage of Snapfire, and right now that has been the case. We've got 10-1 to 14-4, so GPK getting a decent advantage here as the river gets low at top. That will be okay.
This is a very nice lane for Snapfire. Has some decent animation, wave clear, gonna buy a soaring. So he's gonna have bottle plus soaring in his game. He's gonna be a farming machine on this Snapfire. And I fully expect GPK to be making all the moves, especially with the Aghanims and the Tiny. They're going to have some pretty nasty initiation.
Yeah. If the Tiny's farmed enough anyway, otherwise it might just be a throw in to feed, which wouldn't be good.
All he has to do is just avalanche toss combo when he gets tossed in, so it's going to be pretty nice. He'll eat the tome, get level 8 pretty quickly. Should be fine for him.
Okie dokie. And how quickly are we expecting GPK to go for this Aghanims? Is it, you know, Arcane Boots into Ags territory, or are we just going Brown Boots Ags, or are we expecting the items?
Oh yeah,
before
we'll see the Brown Boots. Oh, bottom Viper and Void are battling it out a little bit.
Yeah, DM not doing so well in this one, though. The damage going back in towards Skidder, but in comes the Impetus to finish the job, but Skidder will lose his life as well. So both the Viper and the Faceless Void going down in this bottom lane. And once again, the Void didn't get the kill, so he's probably not going to be too happy about how this one went down.
They're going to be pretty happy on VP side, especially the Tiny getting that solo XP on that kill on Void. He's level 3 now.
Oof.
Yeah, you hate to see a support Tiny get extremely high levels in the early game.
Yeah,
he
like,
can make
had 2 kills now, but no one cares if Enchantress is getting kills and money or whatever. It's pointless.
Yeah, we will see Tiny maybe make a rotation towards the Invoker too now with his level 2 Avalanche already ready.
That's it.
DM though, if he dies again
DM
here.
down at bottom, the Viper getting very, very low to both the Faceless Void and the Enchantress, but the
Void
tossback
side
comes in
too.
for the Tiny, turning it around. They bring him down. Fada needs to kill off DM here. He needs one more right click. Is he going to find it? He's not. He's dead. Oh dear me. Virtus Pro getting themselves 2 kills in the bottom lane. That is not how that one was meant to go.
And Void doesn't have a TP anymore. His lane is over. That's it for the Void.
Walk of shame.
Oh no. Yeah, he's gonna have to walk back bottom. He's gonna be like level 4 versus a level 5 Viper. Viper's just gonna freeze the lane in front of his tower now, knowing that the Void cannot TP back in. Yikes, this is huge. And they're just gonna have to smoke him out back to the bottom lane. The smoke of shame.
Wow, that really is a sad usage of the smoke. The smoke of shame. Never seen that one before. Meanwhile, Milan just being harassed out at top, but 33 is just kind of playing around the creeps here. He's pretty happy on his own.
To steal a bounty rune at least.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. 33 now being chased, but he's got this ice armor on him, so even though he might lose some mana from this, I'm pretty sure he's not going to die. Although I say that, one of his kisses come on over from the side, from downtown. GPK gets the kill. Nicely done.
Yeah.
Nice little spot there from GPK, and just a vision being given from his teammates.
It's already got that soaring. Plenty of mana on the Snapfire. Oh, Mido, there's a gank coming out from Fada.
Fada making the rotation in with this little ghosty creep to slow down GPK. GPK has no counterplay here. That Snapfire is just going to drop. Dead for 25, but meanwhile up in the top lane, Milan being chased down. Epileptic Kid gets in the right click and finds a kill onto that Rubik. Wow, I mean, this game is turning out to be pretty much everything we expected. Just a lot of fighting going on, a lot of individual plays happening, and a lot of team rotations trying to just get the one up on each other.
Yeah. And the big thing for VP is that they did win top and the bottom lane so far. So that's going to give them a lot of momentum that's much needed when you play a draft like this. Oh, Doom, going to get initiated on. But he's so fast with that phase boots already, and tanky with the ice armor.
Yeah, he's got ice armor, 2 points in Scorched Earth. He's like, come at me, bro, I can take it. Nice Maledict.
Yeah.
I'm not running away. I'm standing my ground.
Mid lane. They have the catapult ready. They're going to do another collapse here. Milan has also arrived. GPK.
Yeah, GPK actually moving aggressively here, and Save without much health just comes in with the Avatos to just bring down Fata, but now Milan looking for Save. Save juking through the tree lines. It's not going to be successful though. They're getting top of him with the right clicks will finish the job, and now Anonymous Kisses. Milan trying to juke it out. He's trying to juke it out. Unfortunately, well, it's not quite enough. No surviving that one. Milan will fall. And that's going to be a nice kill for GPK here at mid, and also keeping his tower alive as well, because if he falls there, there could be some more pressure coming out from Mudgolems, but that will not be the case.
TP Bornea down to the bottom lane. Viper instantly noticing the Invoker on the ward, tries to run away. He should be fine here on the Viper.
Yeah.
Void's only level 5. Look at his last hit, 20. It's all because of that play they tried to do, and where he died.
Little peasant skitter begging for creeps on the side of the lane. Please, sir, spare me a creep. Meanwhile, up on top lane, 33, once again, just swaggering as well, way away from the Maledict.
Normally, you would see a Faceless Void have a Mask of Madness already by this time in the game. But
Yeah.
Skitter, very, very poor. On the other side, the Anti-Mage pretty much has complete free farm. They managed to really dominate this lane. Doom, that's the one problem with that hero. Not very good at punishing carries in the laning stage.
Certainly not, no. And GPK, he's having a pretty good time at mid as well. He's been able to get himself a good few kills. Meanwhile, cold snap out onto Ilias here. Boronier and Milan trying to make it happen, but unfortunately the Coconut's going to come bouncing through and force back Boronier and Milan and make them unable to get this kill onto the Witch Doctor.
Are you even trying? Are you even trying?
Yeah,
You've been
VP.
trying.
No one's trying to gank you, Epileptic Kid. You're absolutely fine, buddy. Freedom in the top lane for Epileptic Kid.
Yeah.
3 is just not much of a threat.
He's,
Look at the level
he's a
difference
bottom
between them as
B5,
well.
exactly.
My God.
Exactly. They're just absolutely dominating top, and this block on the big camp here that Milan did not get rid of just made it so that they couldn't pull the lane back, get some extra XP at least from that.
Ilias
33 now.
sneaking around on
Getting gone on
33. They've got
GPK.
GP Key here as well. He might want to drop those Mortimer's Kisses. Holding out for the time being, though. There is a response coming through as the Tornado comes over, but Milan's going to be able to lift
Nice
him up
cancel.
and throw him down. 33. He's ticking down, but maybe not quite enough. No, there should be enough damage. Milan's will finish him off. Meanwhile, Borony and Milan trying to get the return kill onto Ilias here.
Big
Ilias is
stick.
going to make it under the tower. They won't be able to find a kill onto this Witch Doctor. And that's going to put an end to thing up in the top lane. Once again, Mudgolems come out on bottom. And it is the Bears who are tearing through this first game so far. Now, the one question I have to ask is this kind of the game where you're kind of expecting the anti-mage to let them down a bit? Because other carries, I feel like, you have this amazing start, you can play super aggressive, and you can put loads of
exactly.
pressure, but this AM is going to get a battle hero and go farm. Is that why you
Right.
don't like the pick?
Yeah, I think in this patch, like after 10 minutes, you normally see a lot of action happening, or teams kind of getting in a position where they can do that, and Anti-Mage just can't fight, right? One good thing for him in this game is there is an Invoker and a Rubik who could potentially have very low mana with high mana pool, where he can come in and maybe get a nice juicy mana void. So that is one option for him, but I do fully expect BP to slow down their gameplay until they hit the Aghanim's on the Snapfire. They're gonna take the bottom tower though, so the fact that they won top and bottom is just gonna make it so much easier for them to be able to take this bottom tower, and a lot better for them to slow the game down because they know Mudgolems are gonna have to spend some time catching back up first.
Yeah. Well, Skidder does have this Mask of Madness now on him. Are we going to see a play being made with this Chronosphere?
Well, it would be nice if middle VP tried to run into this tower and he can just casually walk in and chrono, but actively looking for a chrono, probably not. He is so far behind. If he dies trying to make some play, it's just going to be even more disastrous.
Oh, dearie me.
Here we go.
Grim
This could be
situation
it.
for Mudgolems, but they are looking for something. Skidder, he's hanging around. He's got that time walk, but VP, they see him, and they get themselves away. They want to hang around this side, make sure that Skidder just can't jump in and get the easy Chronosphere. Fighter comes across. They're going to throw some spells away at DM,
Nice
or
tower
maybe not,
take.
actually, as the tower's just going to fall, and that's it.
That's
Great
so
positioning
good.
from Virtus Pro.
That is so good. You have an AM on your team, and you're the one who managed to take the mid tower first. That is just so beautiful from BP so far. They're playing excellent Dota at the moment. They're not giving any room for Mudgolems.
No, I mean, Epileptic Kid, he basically is owning, like, this entire area of the map. Meanwhile, this poor old Faceless Void, he's zoned out at this point. They need to make some plays, they need to go with the smoke and the chrono to make something happen here. And that is going to be the attempt as Rubik leads the charge. This seems like a very kind of unconfident smoke. I mean, what are they even going to do if they find someone? Do they have enough damage to bring him down
Yeah,
even?
they do. They most definitely do. This is going to be one of the better smokes because they do have the numbers advantage. AM not going to want to TP up to this lane. So they're just going to end up finding a tiny only though. GPK gonna
Skidder really
save
wants
himself.
it. He is going to find it as well. Despite the Invoker trying to secure the kill with that Tornado, luckily the Faceless Void's able to get the right click in time and gets himself that much needed kill. Still, it is just a tiny that did end up being a 5-man rotation in for just in position 4. But it also secures them much more space, as mentioned before. Now this area of the map, it's sort of coming back in the Radiant side.
They got to keep doing plays like that. Especially with the chrono being up, I think BP, they're not going to want to play too aggressively anymore. I'd like to be kid. He's got Battle Fury. 100 more gold. That's all he needs.
Jesus.
He's so farmed. My goodness. Power treads.
Oh my god.
Yeah, about to have Battle Fury in less than 100 gold now. Courier's already ready to deliver it to him.
Can he make it
And-
pre 13-minute Battle Fury? That's what he's looking for here.
Yeah. He's
And-
gonna stack the
oh,
Ancients
if he
here
stays in
too.
this- if he stays in, yeah, he
Boom.
wants to get the efficiency plays. And he's gonna get it. 12 minutes 58 is when he finds his Battle Fury with the power treads as well and the full magic wand. That is extremely impressive from Epileptic Kid here, as he's had just the freest game possible, and he is really
that
gonna now
is-
make Mudgolems suffer.
That is way too fast. That is way too fast of a Battle Fury for a first phase anti-mage pickup. So this is where you gotta go back in the draft and think like, hey, did we take the right choice in picking this Doom? Because this hero might be good in the mid-late game if you get the Doom on the AM, but there are way better heroes that can punish the anti-mage in the laning stage. And then that way you can always have a hero just go up against him whenever he shows up in the lane. Like Legion, Slaughter, these kind of dudes, they're quite strong. Just high physical damage heroes.
Well, looks like we've got some problems coming out for the side of Mudgolems right now, not least in the anti-mage, but also in GPK, finding this Aghanims now turning into a trebuchet. And in they go, they find in the tiny avalanche toss combo onto the perfect target. Boromir just gets deleted from the game.
That's the reveal of the Aghanims. Now he's gonna go straight for a Blink Dagger, so he's gonna also be able to save people with that Gobble Up on GPK. GPK has been destroying this game. So perfect how he played. Like, he bought the bottle first and the Soul Ring. He had pretty much an infinite source of mana, even against an Invoker Quaswax. Just pretty much controlled the mid-air of the map. Every time kisses were up, he tried to make a play.
And now they just have so many cooldowns to play around here with this Aghanims, with the Gobble Up and with the spit out, and then of course the Morning's Kisses as well. Oh my goodness! I mean, this guy doesn't even need a blink. He didn't even need to have a good game, as you mentioned before.
Yeah.
You know, all he needed was some levels. Now they've got it. They're just going to keep on going, and GPK literally has turned into a trebuchet. He can throw that
And
90 kg tiny from 300 meters away.
He bought Veil too. He didn't even go for the straight dagger. He's like, all right, you're gonna toss me in. I'm just gonna Veil combo them, and that's it. Whoever we go on is just dead. Skitter. Oh, this wordplay.
Get yourself away,
he's Master
buddy.
Madness.
He's caught in the tree, so there's nowhere to run. He doesn't have the time. Oh, he does have the time walk. He gets himself away. Okay. Milan looking for the turnaround now. Steals the Death Ward, trying to get some damage up. GPK could be in some real trouble. The Doom comes down onto him as well. They might be able to get a kill. GPK getting run down. It goes wrong for VIRTUS Pro. The
Ooh, big deny.
Oh my goodness. Ilias comes in with a sick deny here. Another look for the turnaround. They will kill up Ilias for it, but the Avalos comes in on to 33. He's going to be the one that loses his life. Well, they do kill Grandma, but Grandma gets killed off by her own grandson instead, as Ilias gets a clutch deny at the last minute here, and VIRTUS Pro, they lose out heavily. I mean, well, maybe not that bad as they get the return kill onto Doom, but I don't know, man. Break it down for us. Where does that leave us now?
Yeah, he didn't really go for the kisses play there because he thought the cookie snap, the scatter blast, like everything would have been fine. Save was not able to get the toss out onto the Void too, so just made him be able to bought enough time for him to time walk out. So very unfortunate for VP. They do get the deny. That means the Doom is not going to get that big bounty on the Snapfire. I mean, while all that's happening, like, AM is just free farming, right? He's on his way to an 18-minute Manta style on his anti-mage. Like,
He is drag racing this game. Like, he is
Yeah.
0 to 100. How fast can he go? Meanwhile, the Faceless Void is also going for a Battle Fury, which, I mean, it just feels a little bit sad, really. It feels like he's watched this anti-mage and he's like, oh, I want to do that too. I'm going to build up Battle
I'm
Fury
almost
as well.
sure that the anti-mage is going to have Manta before Void finishes Battle Fury.
Absolutely. Unless he finds a kill onto this anti-mage, I think that's absolutely going to be the point. What happens?
Skitter has not been able to use his chrono once in this game either. So he's like very desperate. He even tried to smoke up with his two supports into the enemy jungle, but no one's gonna play here. They know this is Mudgolem's territory already. Anti-mage level 14, Void level 10. Two carry matchups right now. It's just And this goes all the way back to that death from Skitter when he TP'd back into the lane after dying to the Viper and then died again. Like that just completely annihilated his game. He just had that was it for him. He's now a position 3 pretty much. Doom is the one who's the carry at this point.
Jump in the bottom lane, they drop the Chronosphere down onto the end. They're going to try and make this play. They've got the Death Ward as well. The physical damage is going to be enough. They will get the kill. Athletic Kid goes down in the bottom lane. A huge, huge kill for the side of Mudgolems. I mean, it's a drop in the ocean, but it is definitely a very strong drop, which might cause some wave to turn this game around, but still a long way to go from that. But still, a very important kill. However,
huge
VIRTUS Pro, here comes a Trebuchet throwing that stone, but Skitter is ready. He gets a time walk back, and he will be okay. Ooh, that was a very important time walk there from the Faceless Void.
DM, they have a Doom. They're gonna get another kill here.
I think they might. DM may be in some trouble. The Death Ward comes down. Doom gets dropped onto the Witch Doctor to cancel out that Death Ward, but the Monolith Kiss is coming over the top. It's forced back the side of Mudgolems and get Bornea pretty low here. VIRTUS Pro, they are not too worried about this. They will continue posturing, and it is Mudgolems who will back away.
That was actually the best case scenario for VIRTUS Pro. He just dropped that Death Ward right on top of the Doom. The Doom couldn't just go past him to find a bigger target to Doom, so he just had to shut down the Witch Doctor, and it just backed right off. That's a big cooldown now for Mudgolems.
Middle lane. They throw save on to Rubik here. This Rubik is very much dead. There comes that Trebuchet.
VP is just really outplaying Mudgolems hard right now. Running into the enemy triangle with their 4 heroes.
Yep, Save is just putting eyes on them. Knowing that when anyone comes close enough, he can just get the toss back. And the easy kill.
Does have his Manta complete now. It's coming out on the courier. If it wasn't for that death he had, he would have had it just a minute earlier about. Also has a clumsy net. Oh, that is big. That is the solo kill item right there.
It really
With that
is.
net, you can kill anyone.
Yeah, stop the void. Time walking is the biggest thing, I think.
Exactly.
And then in that time, you might be able to get rid of enough of his mana so that he then can't cast anything. It's going to be a nightmare for him. As the Tiny comes flying through into the middle lane. There it is, the combination. It is beautiful. And Milan gets eliminated once more. Jesus, how do you play against this? I mean, this is just brutal.
You can't right now. Mudgolems are just way too far behind to even compete against VP.
Yeah, look at this. This 4-man pack of wolves, or pack of bears, I guess is more accurate. Roaming around the map, just looking for any lost sheep to gobble up and consume. And poor old Mudgolems. They are just, I mean, they're just so far behind in this game. It feels like they need a miracle to come back into this one. Unfortunately, he's playing for Nigma.
They need a Miracle Void.
Exactly.
Yeah. A Miracle Chronosphere. He's almost there. He's almost at that Battle Fury on the Void.
Yeah, then he can start farming.
He's almost at Basher already. Oh no.
He's so far ahead.
Yeah. I mean, if the AM makes another mistake like what he did bottom lane, that was a pretty big error on his end, because he could just back off and keep farming, wait his Manta, right? Oh,
in
Tiny.
they go.
Oop.
Where comes a combination? Skitter in some trouble. Does get off the time walk
lift.
just in time as 33 pops that BKB and just gets on top of this Tiny. Should be able to bring him down here as Save will lose his life. They want to make any more plays here. Does look like they've got the Tornado out onto the Witch Doctor. They're playing very cautiously on the side of Mudgolems, just kind of soft committing to Ilias here, but the soft commit will be enough to get them that kill as Milan grabs a double. And that is a very powerful defense from the side of Mudgolems. VIRTUS Pro punished for not bringing 100% to that fight.
Milan, he actually lifted the Tiny before he could get the toss off onto the Void.
Oh,
that's why.
clutch.
Exactly, he was able to time walk out of there, because that was a sure kill on the Void if he got both the spells, his combo off. So
yeah,
able to turn that around and save his Faceless Void. They're going to feel so much more comfortable now to even drop a Chrono onto the mid lane. Here we go. 1 second time.
They're looking for it. Lift up, throw back. Chrono comes down. Skitter's on top of him as well. They'll be able to take down this Viper, but in the back line, Save jumps in, finds Milan, and Bornea could be in some trouble as well. Skitter does get that kill onto DM. Now he needs to get himself away. Save still chasing, has a blink, but doesn't have any spells right now as Doom comes coming on forwards. A Tornado. It is going to catch on to GPK and Save. Do they want to actually go for these kills again? You know, just getting the soft commit as they jump forwards onto Fata here. Epileptic goes in. in, wants to kill the Enchantress. Enchantress wants save, won't find him, and now it's just going to be Fata dropping instead. I don't think Mudgolem's going to be super miserable about this, though. I mean, they lose both their supports, sure, but, you know, they get a couple of kills on the side of Virtus Pro. They are somehow finding some very, very desperate fights here, and I wouldn't say it's going that badly for them.
Not that badly, but this anti-mage is just like so far ahead. He's about to have double the net worth of the Faceless Void.
Okay, but if we ignore the anti-mage, then it's not going that badly for Mudgolems.
Yeah, if
Come on,
the
give
game
the
was
fans some
4v5. If
Yeah.
the game was pretty much, yeah. I just think as soon as this Abyssal is up, no one's going to be able to play on their own on the side of Mudgolems. They're going to have to group up as 4 or 5 heroes and just keep trying to get those team. Like, they do have good team fight, right? On the side of Mudgolems still. And if the Invoker ever gets to Aghanims, VP don't really have a save. Maybe they can use the Aghanim Scepter of Snapfire, like gobble someone up inside of a Chrono or something. But if they drag this game out and they get the Ags, they get that Cataclysm off the Chronosphere, yeah, that could give them some really good team fights.
Yeah, it
Ooh,
almost feels
sneaky
like
Roshan happening.
Athletic needs to make some big mistakes here. Yeah, this is very sneaky indeed. Skidder and 33 inside that pit. I mean, I wouldn't expect it if I was Virtus Pro. Mudgolems digging
Barn,
deep
yeah.
to find some ways back into this game.
Oh, there's a DD.
Oh, that's gonna help. That is gonna help.
DD
They might just get
of
away with
Destiny.
this. Ornia making it kind of obvious by grabbing the creeps over here. Not
Yeah, he
That's
made
right
it
play.
quite obvious with that play now. Exactly.
buddy.
Oh, the
buddy.
Goblin.
Oh
Skidder didn't
no.
get hit
Oh
at
no.
least.
Kiss is coming
Oh,
through.
God.
33 might have to be forcing out the BKB here,
Save.
but no save is in. Too quick. Gets the kill. Roshan attempt is completely given away by
Oh,
the Invoker,
no.
I would say. I mean, it feels super bad to say that, but I just don't think
What
they
a
would have figured it
disaster.
out. But after he dragged that creep wave over, the pings came out from Virtus Pro, and now they're in the neighborhood. Fata in some trouble. He's going to get absolutely annihilated. Oh man, and now the pit, the Roshan, it will go the
Anti-mage.
way of that Blokta kid, as if he needed anything more. Oh, they are still on this high ground for some reason. This could get messy as Milan's just going to get absolutely obliterated, and Skidder's going the same way as well. 4 heroes dead. The tiny little candle of hope for the side of Mudgolems is quickly extinguished by the Bears, by Virtus Pro. They take him down. They take down that Roche, and now Anti-Mage is sitting on an Abyssal with an Aegis, with a Battle Fury, with a Manta, and we're only 25 minutes into this game. It's feeling pretty lost.
Hate to agree with you, Nomad, but it's true. It is true.
The dream, it's still alive, but it's a very far-fetched dream.
This Anti-Mage has Abyssal Blade and Aegis. He can be an absolute maniac in the engagements now. Just skip past everyone, go to the back line, get an Abyss on the Invoker or the Rubik. Probably the Rubik is the most important target for him to kill off, I think. Even the Void, like, he's not very strong. He doesn't have any ways to stay alive if he goes into the engagement.
Yeah.
Can also jump him if he wants to. Like, Void and Rubik, pretty much the 2 targets the Anti-Mage is looking out for. They instantly smoke up. They know the Abyssal is ready. Finds a Hasterin too.
And onto the high ground we go, and there's
Boom.
the Doom being jumped on immediately. Epileptic Kid wants to try and take him down. The Tornado's going to interrupt this one, though, as the Coconut comes through onto that Doom. He's going to be okay for now. Meanwhile, the Death Ward comes out. They'll be able to take down Milan at the very least, but a lot of commitment just for a kill onto Milan. Epileptic Kid, he's not done, though. He's come forward up to 33, and he is able to back himself away with that BKB, but now that it runs out, he could be in some trouble. Popping the Ghost Walker, just trying to bring himself north. Doesn't want to get into those trees, realizing that would be a little bit bait. Just runs himself
He's like,
up north.
doom me, bro. Doom me, I dare you. It's like, they just
Bring
have to
it.
run. Yeah, even they have the skills. They have to run. There's an Aegis on this Anti-Mage. Yeah, I like there too. Did you like there?
Yeah, that was some Valve issues, me believes. Well, good time for reflection. Look at the synergy on these guys. You know, they're even saying the same thing. G try at the exact same moment. Skidder just trying to find whatever he can on the top side of this map. GPK's in the neighborhood though. That's a gobble up available, so you can drag the creeps over, looking for some ammunition. And here they go. They've got the Abyssal Blade. That drains all of his mana. Skidder can't do anything but die. He'll be finished off by the Mana Void from
Okay.
Epileptic Kid as he claims the life of the enemy carry.
Yep, and he is officially he officially has twice the net worth of the Faces Void. 27 minutes into the game.
Congratulations. Yeah, I like the lovely drawing from Milan there. He draws 3. Good information. Good information indeed. I mean, Mudgolems are still playing it out. Maybe just waiting, see if there's like a mistake, or as you say, you know, that super late game is definitely an option for them. Whether VIRTUS Pro can make any critical mistakes, pushing high ground,
Most
something
definitely.
like that, maybe there's an opportunity.
Bornea has queued up the Agnins now. Understands that's pretty much their only out in this game. So they're gonna need to buy the right items, right? The Faceless Void and the Invoker. Then they also need a little bit of help from VIRTUS Pro in throwing away their advantage just a tiny little bit for the dream to be true.
One little slip up. If Doom can get in the backlines, maybe land a big Doom onto Snapfire before she gets off her spells, and then the Chronosphere comes down onto a couple of heroes with a Cataclysm on top. Yeah, there is something to be made of this.
Snap almost has Lincolns though, so he's gonna have to
dang.
think about that too. Yep. Someone's gonna have to pop that for him if he wants to doom the Snapfire.
Yeah, although he does have the Clumsy now. Does that pop Lincolns?
No. I think it goes straight through Lincoln's.
Oh dear. Not ideal then.
Well, I know the Clumsy Net goes straight through the counterspell of Anti-Mage.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Not know
But
that.
it could actually
Oh,
pop Lincoln's. I have no
projectile
idea.
Viper perfectly onto the Invoker. What a
Ooh.
prediction from GPK. Gets him right on top of Bornea's head. He just gets completely eliminated. Man, that was some tracking right there. I mean, he fired it when the Invoker was about like here. And, meanwhile, the Void gets eliminated by Epileptic Kid once again. Anti-Mage finds him. Just being an absolute menace, getting on top of this Void, not giving him a chance to finish off any of his items. No BKB for you, sir. It's getting sad. it's really getting sad.
It is. It's getting very sad. See, it's games like this where, you know, in your pub games, they start picking Anti-Mage. They think they're so cool, they're gonna carry the game, and then, you know, you just lose in like 20 minutes. But then, this is Epileptic Kid, man. This guy, absolute god gamer.
Yeah, one of his best heroes as well, I am.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
VIRTUS Pro really putting the pressure on, but Mudgolems, they're all smoked up. They're looking for something. They're going to get popped by Save. Beautiful pop of the smoke there by Save in the trees, hanging out in the neighborhood. And catch them out, and now a smoke of their own. Mudgolems. This might not go how they think. Bornea see on the front lines here, popping that BKB to dodge out the coconut, but in the back lines is going to have that Abyssal Blade coming through onto Skinner. Skinner trying to get off the black hole of the Chronosphere. Can't do it though. Cancelled out, killed off. 33 in trouble as well. He's got that BKB, but the Death Ward doing
He's
too much
doomed.
damage, trying to come in onto the Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage getting a little bit low here, but unfortunately not nearly low enough. And now the heroes are just dying one by one as they get picked off. 3 dead on the side of Mudgolems. Milani does find that Invis rune. Is it going to be enough? It is not. They've got the vision. They've got the damage. And Elias is going to come through over on ahead. And Black Ticket will claim another kill. 4 dead. GG's called. That's going to be it. It was a noble attempt, but unfortunately the Chronosphere couldn't even come off in time. He couldn't get it off. And that is going to be it for Mudgolems. Really disappointing ending to a very disappointing game. 25k gold advantage is what VIRTUS Pro will end this one on, but yeah, I mean, absolutely so convincing from VIRTUS Pro. From draft to laning to execution, they did not slip up at all, really. Other than that one little individual slip-ups, but as a team, this was so solid.
There's just one thing that Mudgolems did wrong that completely ruined the game, and that was Skitter just dying back to back without his teleport scroll. Made it so that he had no game. You can't afford to have your carry be in that situation, and it's just how the patch works. So that happens. You pretty much essentially lost the game right there. Hopefully in game number 2, they will realize their mistakes and just come back stronger on Mudgolems.
We can hope that it's what will happen, but, well, only time will tell. But, folks, that is it for game number 1. But don't go anywhere, or if you do, be back very, very shortly, as we will be back with some lovely panel analysis coming up after a very short break. We'll see you on the other side for more Dota 2 action here at the Epic League. See you in a bit.
EGB, your esports betting world. The only place to find the widest choice of popular games and matches to win real money. Choose your bet on a single event or express of several matches with dizzy odds. Serving the market for 7 years with over 800,000 users. Join now to get your bonus for the first deposit up to $600. EGB. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Welcome back, everyone. We have witnessed a blowout match. You wanted mechanics, you wanted systematic performance. T-Gov, did Prodigy deliver? Because I feel like they did.
I think Epileptic Kid, we got to give him this kind of moment to shine, right? Like he had a pre-13-minute like Treads Battle Fury. Dude's just kind of absolutely balling. His team's going aggressive. Sure, there was a couple times they tried to kill a Void and they didn't really cleanly connect, but it's still fine because Epileptic Kid, he was there holding down the fort with all the farm. But no, this is exactly what they had to do. They had to outplay horrendously just to be able to never allow Mudgolems into this game. And they did it. So yeah, props to them.
Yeah, it's hard to compare two lineups in like the mid and the late game, obviously, when they kind of lose all three lanes. I'm pretty sure they were up in everything after like 6 or 7 minutes. Of course, like the mid is sort of whatever, but especially the two side lanes. The AM was just kind of free, and then of course the exact opposite for our poor Void. That was that was depressing.
That was catastrophically bad. 1437 did mention that not having the TP and having to smoke shame your way back to the lane definitely has a strong impact on it. But was that literally like the domino that set everything else in motion? You're gonna lose all your tier 1 towers really quickly. You're gonna all of a sudden lose control of your jungle. Was it all predicated on that Void basically compromising his lane?
That in combination with the fact they weren't able to get like that instant saving play after, right? They weren't able to like go for a smoke at like 7 minutes or whatever, right? And it's also Virtus Pro capitalized on that snowballing by taking really big objectives for themselves with the early lead, like that mid tower.
Yeah, you can see how Mudgolems, they tried to react to the issues they had because like Farta coming to mid, trying to deal with GPK. But then fundamentally, the issue is that side lanes are so already like kind of displaced, right? You have that Void situation, you have a Doom versus Anti-Mage, so you don't have this innate pressure onto an AM. And like we're talking about this game being, it is the Anti-Mage game, right? And it's a product of his lane, there being zero pressure. So Void, he could survive his lane, do fine, but the overall team pressure that's going to come out is still going to be the same. So if he dies there, he dies. If he doesn't, his timings are still going to be offset compared to how much free farm the Anti-Mage had, right? Like there's never a world where Void will have as much farm simply because it's a Viper tiny matchup. Like it's just a very difficult like laning setup from Mudgolems.
And how good was that Tiny? Talk about how the hero hasn't been seen a lot lately, but not only in the lane, first off, helping to create those kills with the Viper. Like the way that he got that like that new age Tiny where we always get like the run up toss back into another ally into the avalanche. Like that's kind of like the whole bread and butter of the good support Tiny players. Actually enabling this Viper to do more than just be like a nuisance in the off lane, right? It turned into a like, you have to just fight me right now. And you don't want to fight a Viper that early, and just snowballed on the victory. Plus, then it was a really, really good hero for Egg Snapfire to just blow people up.
the Veil as well, right? The Tiny
Yeah.
goes to the Veil, he gets chucked in, and like you could say for VP, like there were a couple times that top tri-camp area with Skitter's positioning and able to like disconnect after that engagement. It did look promising, like oh wow,
Yeah.
VP are kind of failing to actually capitalize on their spell usage. But then like you had to look at the AM and the fact that he was like double net worth to the Void. And then it got to the point where it's just Abyssal killing the Void. He's like, I've only got Battle Fury and a Mask Mat. Leave me alone. Like, this is a game that Mudgolems will love to quickly forget because they just didn't have the aggression required to run into the skirmishing heroes of VP. So, yeah, it's just a rough start to Mudgolems.
Yeah, that was the only time they even got a kill on the AM, like when it mattered, was the steal on the Witch Doctor.
That was
right?
good, though. That was
yeah,
good
of
to me
course.
fair. That was nice.
Yeah, but that's the
Not
issue.
enough.
That was like the only thing they had, you know? That was his one death.
And the one chrono that he had, and the Void was able to get one chrono on the Void on the AM while he was farming, the bot tier 2. But aside from that, it was that. Oh wait, that was his one kill. That's right. Yeah. That was Overall, Epileptic Kid with putting on a clinic. First phase AM. We're gonna see if it's ban worthy. Okay, it's not ban worthy. They will continue to let it through, which VP could pick it up again if they want to.
The key thing here is Mudgolem's a second pick, right? Like that's the reason why the anti-mage was allowed through, right? Like that's why it worked because they had that second pick to cover it with the ban. So unless they're like super ballsy confident, I don't expect them to go Viper AM whilst on first pick.
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, there is a lot of value in taking that Viper first when it's against Mudgolems. I will say that because obviously they've relied on it pretty heavily. Don't expect this in any other games, guys, because this seems pretty targeted. I would say. Have they even been playing a lot of Viper themselves too?
They haven't.
I guess they haven't played a lot. Is the thing,
exactly,
right? Yeah.
They
Let me look in their 4 games.
Yeah,
they give it a GPK
one
game, I think.
Exactly.
But aside from that, it is. We're learning a lot about VP right now, just like everyone else, it seems.
Yeah.
All right, guys. It's the Magnus, it's the Void, and now it's the Viper. We got 3 heroes, boys, for VP. Let's go. This is their drafting. But no, so Mudgolems, they open up with the Ench response to the Viper as they did in that previous game. Now they see the Tiny. They are currently thinking, well, this is most likely that offlane duo. VP will flex the Viper between offlane and mid up until the second phase. And then Mudgolems decide to go for the AM themselves. Wow. The domino effect of drafting. You either lose to something and ban it, or you lose something and pick it.
Now it's a very offensive game for the break, though, right? Like, before it was like kind of a defensive break almost of trying to like slow down the damage from the Faceless Void and the Chronos, but now you have a good option for taking down that AM, even if you end up with a lot of magic damage in your draft.
Yeah. The difference here is the Tiny's not going to have as good of a time outside of laning because obviously Anti-Mage doesn't really care too much about the Tiny jump, and it's about can Mudgolems bridge that early aggression once again. But we just saw how VP played into that, and if anything, Virtus Pro, the kind of philosophy to the game, they're happily going to play into these later timing heroes. So I think they're kind of giggling at the fact they're now into an AM. They're like, all right, guys, cool. Let's just pick up a super aggressive carry and just outplay them again.
Yeah, and you had proposed the last time that we saw the Tiny in the draft that it doesn't necessarily have to be save zero. Could potentially see it be played mid. So if they're concerned about the laning potential of the Tiny being cut down significantly, they could flex it.
Yeah, they can, for sure. I kind of feel after that first game that it's very much just Tiny 4. I kind of have that just feeling that these guys are more confident in that. And it's the Viper is the one being pushed between 2 lanes.
I wonder if they
right now,
can...
based off of the AM, which way are you leaning on the Viper, offlane or mid?
I kind of want to see the Viper in the offlane, right? Against the AM, just that constant spit. The issue is, if AM has one activating support, then suddenly on top of the Viper, you might be able to do some pressure, especially if you come in with a tri-lane, with Milan playing like a clock or something along those sorts of heroes.
I mean, is there any way this Enchantress is not being played by Fada?
No, it's pretty much fodder.
Yeah, I agree, though. I think that they probably need some more help from Milan if this ends up being an offlane Viper. And that's what can make this like coin flip of the Viper kind of be the difference between, oh, now I dominated my lane and the game's super easy. We crushed that Faceless Void too. Okay, guys, well, I didn't get much in lane, so I'm going to go Nether Talks in the jungle for a while. I'll see you later. You know, you don't really want to end up with that kind of a situation. My question is, can they fit the Magnus in this game, or... I don't know if they can.
Ooh. For Mudgolems?
For Mudgolems, yeah, to try and get like the empowered AM. But I think with the Viper and the Tiny, that kind of ruins the hero. because the tiny
Yeah.
you can't lane versus, right? Because you can't go for skewer plays, you just die. And kind of the same thing with the Viper too.
It just depends on how Mudgolems want to approach, because like they should understand now what VP wants to do. It's that kind of skirmishing with that kind of one hero behind, and how are they going to fight into it? Are they going to have split push and never take the fight, but wait for the aim to go online? Are they going to have overwhelming team fight with the last 3 picks, so that if there is an objective pressure, they just go, all right, fight us right now, please come into us. So they have 2 options, and we'll see it as they enter into the next phase of their draft. But I prefer, I think, a little bit more split push in this position, just because I don't think with Ench 5 and AM carry, you can ever have enough team fight to then really overdo 5 heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 33 did play the mag, but again, like you said, given VP's current heroes on the field, it seems like it may be a bit of a force if you want to go for it.
They lost that game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not a fan
I
of
mean,
that one. I think it was their
Yumi-
first mag game, right? And it was a loss, so...
Yeah, it feels to be pretty slow. I mean, we still have Slardar in if we're looking for a hero that can maybe get a little bit more done on the early end of the game. Not necessarily a big 3-3 hero lately, though. All right.
Go for it.
Ooh.
I mean,
Here
we
go.
know it's good in the sense of it's AM mag,
Yeah.
and that's why I brought it up. It's because we know
Yeah,
every
that's
single
fair.
time when the hurricane gets picked in the first phase, the first thing everyone says is, "Are they going to pick Magnus?" Well, Virtus Pro probably saw the same thing and said, like, "Okay, they can have mag. I don't know where he's going to lane."
So more importantly, now that they have picked the Magnus, we have to look towards how it changes the AM's game. Of course, he doesn't have to go Battle Fury. We've seen builds where she's like Mask of Madness, and suddenly you have Manta, Skadi, and you have that timing, which is your Skadi timing is now 1 item earlier, and that allows you to fight into these kind of skirmishing heroes, and it can be very annoying to deal with. The issue that we've already mentioned is it takes a little bit of time.
And they just go
as
right back for the Witch Doctor.
Laning potential, he's going to be going up against a Witch Doctor. Carry matchup still not determined yet, which that's how VP, I feel like it contributed to how confident they were with the AM first phase, because they already saw the Void, whereas right now VP still don't know what they're going to give Epileptic Kid quite yet, but there are lots of ways to abuse a Magnus, especially once you're pretty confident that it's going to be a 3 position.
I mean, I think Troll looks pretty strong right now for Virtus Pro.
Yeah.
Kind of fits
Troll's
that
actually such an
timing.
enjoyable hero. Yeah.
Then they can just do whatever for their mid.
Again, it depends on what Mudgolems pick here, because they have to pick up the Milan hero. I like the fact they go for an melee hero, because they have to look to skip waves again, I feel. Especially when you have Mag in off lane, you don't really have that much lane pressure. So they're allowing themselves to have this boots melee position 4 that can skip waves quite safely and allow them entry into at least some laning phase, because that Doom lane was just a rundown of AM just non-stop clicking them. But like we already mentioned, VP, they now have to decide, is the Viper going to be off lane or going to be mid, and what is our carry matchup? They see every single lane in the game, right? Like they should be able to confidently pick their carry here, unless there's some like insane mid hero they want to pick and it doesn't want to get banned out.
Is there anything as good as Troll? Because I can't really think of anything. Troll just looks like super strong. Ow!
Alchemist, there you go.
Great proposal.
No, I wasn't going to say that, don't worry. No, I'm not going to try and fake claim that one, but
give a claim now, though, because it seemed like this you're going kind of into the hand of an anti-mage Magnus. It's farm v farm at this point, so why opt for the Alchemist?
But when you say farm v farm, it's the timing in which the farm translates to the game. So Alchemist, as a hero, you naturally can enter into the fight with the Battle Fury build, +1 item, and then you're going. Anti-mage, especially with Empower, sure, his timings are quicker, but to be able to kill the Alchemist, he still needs like the Manta, the Skadi, the Abyssal, and then suddenly he's playing Dota, right? So it's very much Alk's ability to turn gold into fighting is a lot quicker. Even against the Magnus, you're able to just keep up with that empowered core. So it's one of the few carries that can independently out farm a Magnus empowered carry.
Now we need either a mid or an offlane. I kind of want to see an offlane, like a Legion or something. I mean, I don't know, Legion's like bad, but it's AM, it's mag. I don't know. It looks kind of good. What other mids offer some control? Yeah, they need stun, right? Like that's the whole plan here. They could
Like,
puck,
Kunkka.
I
Oh,
guess.
Kunkka's banned. Oh no, I was about to say Kunkka sounds amazing, and I looked, dude. All right, the VMix call, man. It's small, man. Like it's not my fault. It's in the bottom corner. All right.
Excuses.
I'm not. I was actually gonna say Kunkka, but my bad.
Kunk is the
Dude, this is
go-to
not looking
safety
good.
for me for, oh, they need a stun.
Yeah.
And then when Kunk is not there, I'm like, okay, well, what about Ember and Puck? And those kind of start
Yeah.
coming up in the list.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what is left? All right,
Slardar?
Mudgolems, ban a hero so I can fake claim that one real quick.
Yeah, they can still do
meme.
the offlane slider themselves, too. That's true.
Oh,
Ah, yes,
no,
production!
thank you, production. Okay, so that is a DP and a Timber ban, and then
Great,
it's a
yeah,
Kunkka
I-
ban, and a
no!
Slaughter. Oh, nice, I can see it this time. It is Slaughter. Ah, it's Slaughter. Thank
Yes,
you. Yeah,
but you know, that was a preemptive call. You know, I don't need 10,000 pixel bands to be able to see what's
No,
what.
that's fair. No, thank you. That was really helpful. Thank you. That was perfect. As we just realign ourselves,
Down for it.
sort ourselves back out. Oh, back in order.
10
Thank you.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, so obviously Slardar would have been suggested. And they go for the puck. There we go. It gives them that control, that pressure, that lockdown, and also it's puck and Viper technically can be in either lane. So yeah, it's all good from VP's front for Mudgolems. They need to think of a mid hero.
Thought you were about to go for like a dragon lore thing or something there, but
10
sorry.
seconds
Nah, mate, not
remaining.
about the law.
No,
I'm
yes,
sorry.
I'm used to the non-serious panels. My bad.
No, I'm just
Anyway,
yeah, sorry.
so
Forgive
you know,
me.
Puck is a fairy dragon, and Viper is a.
I don't actually know.
They
what
flap
Viper
their
is.
wings.
I think
He's
it's
a
a
nether
Drake, I
He's
believe.
Nether Drake, that's correct, yes.
I have no idea. Oh, please, guys. Think about this last pick from Mudgolems. It's a mid lane or an off lane, because of course Magnus.
Does he have the
Ooh.
best summoning animation?
That is true.
Just like the big flex. Yeah, there he is.
Ah,
the
so
pick-
powerful.
A flex-worthy pick, though.
Yeah.
Boran
All
Nia
right,
will be
so-
playing it, and it will be 33 on the Magnus.
Okay.
And we don't
I
know
got- I
yet
got
what
this.
VP are going to do with this Puck and Viper.
Gone.
What if we doom the alchemist? Whoa, pretty good idea. I mean,
Can we have that
Is this
NA map again
before
about
or
how
after
4 protect
Chemical
1
Age?
with the Doom? Yep.
yeah, it's the 4 protect 1, and then you just -1 with doom. Yeah, it's some pretty tough maths, but
Okay, so we got GPK on Puck, and DM is going to be playing the Viper again.
But more importantly, Mudgolems, it is another Doom game. It is another like 4 protect 1 from VP. The difference is with the mid Doom, we saw how Doom v Puck yesterday with Viking versus I think OG. This
Yeah.
Doom just dumps it. You know, you get that quick phase, BKB Shivas, that HP reduction against the Alch as well. Like this is a much different Doom game coming out that it can shut down this Alchemist. The question is, do they even have enough fight and damage in them that if this Doom has a good game, where's like that supporting cast behind them? Like
Yeah.
it can easily be an issue of Doom's great, but the rest of us are still farming. So
yeah,
still kind of favor the other lads.
yeah, the mag doesn't really give me a lot of confidence in making those early game plays, right? That's why I like the support mag more. Like I just prefer the empower bot because I think it's very difficult to get a lot of use out of the core mag in those situations. So and plus they just played really well. So yeah, I'm gonna go for VP too.
All right, we're looking potentially at a 2-0, but if you're feeling confident, you can go to egb.com and maybe look at your own odds, but we will find out how this game pans out as we send it over to our casters, 1437 and Nomad.
Thank you, you three lovely chaps. Yep, we're getting into game number 2 here, and it's another anti-major game. Very, very sorry, Theban. I know you didn't want to go around 2 4 a.m., but here we go. 2 out of 2 a.m. games. Do you have more faith in it this time around?
It's just my day, isn't it, Nomad? I get to witness 3 a.m. games in a row. Yeah, I have more faith in VP's draft. Not an anti-mage, that's for sure.
Yeah, I can definitely see problems arising here for the side of Mudgolems. I mean, firstly, they already have this Viper who's going to have another Toxin, which is probably going to cause some problems for the Mr. Anti-Mage. Then we also have the Puck, who's super annoying with the leash mechanic, and this Alchemist, which is going to farm just as quickly, if not quicker, than this Anti-Mage. What are we
much
expecting
faster,
the
for
build for Skinner to be this game? Oh, he's already doing it. Look at this guy's quick.
Mask of Madness? Yep, it has to be. It has to be the build when you're playing with Magnus. It's like almost all the carries just go for the Mask of Madness route. Get that nice sustain, attack speed, just to be able to farm faster.
Yep.
He might still go for the Battle Fury afterwards. It's a possibility because it is a core mag after all. It's not a support mag who's going to follow you around the entire game.
Yeah.
And then later on you can split the mom for Satanic and Butterfly, which would be very good against VP Zeros.
Yeah, I
Assuming
think
he
it's gonna
gets
be
to
a
that
gut
point.
read. If the game's going really well, then they might consider just going for the Sajin Yashir after the Mask of Madness and just put some real pressure onto Virtus Pro players 5 and then just
Epileptic
kind of
Kid.
run after them here. Yeah, he's going to be taking a little bit of harassment here.
Yeah, he's going to be chased around a little bit. And Milan is going to try and see if he can get the TP cancel onto him.
What a lovely drawing. Yeah,
There we
Kid's
go.
going to be TPing out in the
Yeah, he's not
trees,
gonna
and
try.
Milan,
He doesn't
he's
see
not
him.
going to risk that. Nice
So
movement.
this game, the anti-mage has an Ench, which is strong lane, but is against a Viper, who's going to constantly push the lane out. So the chance of you winning the lane is not very high, because you're not laning into a Doom. But you can get a lot of denies in this lane, as Fada does already. 2 denies against the Viper.
Yeah, pretty nice
Start
deny
this
from the
game
Viper. Oh, DM getting some really nice denies under this tower against the anti-mage, actually, as he's got the creeps under his tower, but DM denying both a melee and the ranged creep. Pretty big deal. Fada goes to trade with Save. We've seen this one before. Fada laning against the Tiny, and she's going to try and harass that Tiny out of existence if possible.
Yeah, top lane, Milan doing the standard Earth Spirit pull from the Radiant side. This has been very popular lately, the Earth Spirit from the Radiant side. Just get level 2 right away with these 4 creeps that you pull, denies a wave 2 against the enemy carry, and then you can just start roaming around either mid or bottom. Ilias not going to make it easy though for him.
Nah, he's being annoying, casting the Maldig, just tickling his pickle a little bit and trying to make it as hard as possible for him to secure all these creeps here. Does have to be careful in the Witch Doctor though, because I'm sure if Milan closes the gap on him with this Orb of Venom, Ilias could be in some trouble. I think he recognizes that and just kind of playing around him quite nicely. So we have a quick pause out as Skidder very briefly disconnects and reconnects into this one. Let's have a look over towards our mid lane. So we do have the mid lane Doom laning up into GPK. How's this one going to go down? How's this cookie going to crumble?
Oh, it looks like a farm fiesta. That's what's going to happen in this
CC.
mid lane. Yep, just right click, get last hits. I don't really expect either of these heroes to die. And then once we get the runes onto the puck, we'll probably see rotations on other lanes.
Yeah, Borneo is going to be forced to go for the 50-50, but it's never nice to try and wrestle against runes with the puck, because it's just so annoying with that orb, always has the mobility advantage. Borneo may just consider prioritizing farm instead. What's Borneo's role in this game as a mid lane Doom, though?
Just get fat, protect your jungle, make sure the enemy can't just walk up into the triangle.
Skewer back onto Epileptic Kid, actually getting him under tower for a hit or two, so that's quite nice. Decent amount of harass coming in. They're going to make the roll forwards here. They're making the
There's
play
a
onto the
kickback
Alchemist.
too.
He's heading towards the trees, but he's taking so much damage here. 33, and Milan might be able to bring him down. The right click's coming through. And that's going to be first blood going to Milan as they bring down Epileptic Kid in the top lane.
Milan. That's pretty juicy first blood for him. Alchemist does have a wave coming into him though, so not a terrible death. Won't be zoned out of these creeps or anything like that.
Yeah, I think
He's
Milan's
got
going to be
that
very
going for
happy.
him.
What's he going to use this extra starting gold for? Looks like he's just getting the
Boots.
brown boots for now. 33, maybe in some
Oh.
trouble here. They'll bash him back and skewer him away. And I think he is going to be alright, even though he's got that maledict on him. He's only level 1, and he will live to skewer another day.
Oh, bottom lane, Enchantress with the stun onto the Viper. DM, Fairy
So
Fire.
low. Skidder's going to come in and scoop up the kill. That is lovely for him, and Save could be in some trouble as well, but no, they don't have the slows for it anymore. 7 seconds until that enchant's available, so the Tiny will get out okay. But Mudgolems, they get themselves another kill on this map.
Yeah, it's very big, and Skidder knows this time. He's only gonna blink in or try to fight if it's for the last hit. I ain't doing anything else to jeopardize my own game.
Uh-oh, Maledict's out onto him. Epileptic Kid really wants to try and finish the job here, but can't close that gap, and that Maledict is not going to do anything to the Earth Spirit since they didn't get any follow-up damage onto him.
Yeah. Although Epileptic Kid did die, he does have a pretty decent amount of farm right now. They're gonna put some more pressure on him while the Witch Doctor is going for the pull here.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Seems like a good
It won't
move.
matter. Yeah, this double bracer is gonna help Alchemist so much. This has been the most popular build on Alch now. 2 bracers, power treads, straight battle fury, and you're just so tanky. Got some good sustain as well.
Interesting. Yeah, I can't say I've been paying close attention to what the Alchemists have been building, but it does make a lot of sense just try and tank yourself up and be that kind of a movable object, whilst you can just kind of farm away with your acid spray and your Greevil's Brood.
So 4-minute rune did go the way of GPK. He's activated, just wants to burn
Rolling
down
onto
some of
Ilias.
Doom's
Ilias could be
HP.
in some trouble here. The rock follows through from Milan as well. 33 just chopping away at him. The shockwave comes through, and 33 is going to... Well, actually, the kill goes to Milan again here. This Spirit is very hungry for these kills. I think he tried to give it to 33, but unfortunately just a little bit of a missed timing on the right clicks, and the kill once again goes to Milan.
Yeah, they've been doing a really good job in this top lane. Did not really expect a lot of kills to be going their way up here, and was thinking the Earth Spirit was going to be rotating to other lanes to get some kills, but very well done. Fada gonna sneak his way past the Tiny, steal a rune. He's gonna steal another rune here too.
Yeah,
So it's
luckily
just gonna
GPK did some sneaking of his own in order to secure a bounty for his team, but that is the only bounty they've secured, so this Alchemist isn't going to be too happy about that one.
Fada is now in the back jungle here. Gonna get himself level 3 and maybe gank middle. Doom is not quite yet level 6 though. There's a lot of denies on GPK. So Borneo struggling in this lane.
14 denies, 36 and 14 compared to 22 and 1 on Borneo. He's getting manhandled. There's no other way to say it, I'm afraid. Puck handled is the pace, maybe. Not great. And Fada is just going to hang out at bottom now. Make sure the anti-mage is nice and safe. You know, Skidder after last game, he's a hurt man, you know. He's like, please, just give me a game. I just really want to play some Dota this series.
And he's almost at that Mask of Madness. Oh, top lane Magnus. Just a little bit of pressure put onto him with the Maledict. He's just going to screw on out.
Yeah, just giving him a nice little, what for, a little poke. See how he reacts. The Spirit is away right now. I'm not sure what Man was doing, but he wasn't in the neighborhood.
Just going to go back to pull him.
And, well, Ilias gets a nice pull across here. That's going to be quite annoying. As Plenty Kid comes over. Oh, never mind, he wants the creeps anyway. Gonna go farm those up.
This time around, Skidder, level 6 versus the enemy offlaner who's level 4. Anti-Mage getting another favorable situation in the second game here. But not so dominant as game number 1, that's for sure. Because the Viper is still doing quite well for himself.
Yeah, DM is having a lane. Last game, we saw the Anti-Mage being the leader in CS, and this game, he's not quite there. Still having a very good time though, but yeah, this Alchemist is having a fantastic time up in the top lane as well, so carries really matching up against each other, and of course, with Greevil's Greed, Epileptic Kid is pulling ahead in net worth. Would be a concern for the side of Mudgolems, but I'm sure they have a plan to deal with this pesky fellow. Let's see how they enact that plan later on.
They don't have any stacks on the side of Radiant. Dire do have... Oh, Coil onto the mid lane.
Yeah, Borneo being pretty thoroughly chased here as Save comes in, gets the Avalanche off, he's got a toss as well, but
the toss back.
time being toss him is back, sets up beautifully for the Doom onto the puck. I'm not sure this was a plan. Borneo running himself away, he's going to be able to live here as Milan gets a kill onto Save. Great rotation in from Milan, and Milan wants to see if he can finish the puck, but I'm not quite sure how easy that's going to be. Won't see him moving around, and the puck gets himself back, and actually might consider coming back into Milan. Nah, he's too low. He has to be careful, and that's going to put an end to things. Very scary though for that puck. The toss back from a Tiny nearly causes big problems for GPK here as they fight over this rune. There's Fada who gets it down at bottom. Milan continuing just to pressure this puck here. He's going to try and go for the kill, but Save comes over with the Avatos, and it looks like Milan has bitten off more than he can chew, and the Spirit will be put down.
Ooh, that's a lot of golden XP too, going the way of the puck. 300. Yeah, Borneo, he looked like he was gonna die, but that raindrop was doing so much work, and then the perfect Doom onto the puck just to get him off. And they do get the kill onto Save, so it looked like a pretty good win until Milan thought he could maybe solo this puck. Seems like it's been the common build now, the puck without the base shift.
Yeah.
In the lane, just maxing out the 2 nuke spells, trying to burst heroes down instead.
Well, a slightly less action-packed laning phase than last time. With these 2 hard carries on either side, the Alchemist and the... Oh, we have another call coming in the middle lane. Then to the Doom once again. Milan's coming on over to try and help him out.
Nice
and once
silence.
more, the initiation's a little bit rough here, as Save is just going to lose his life. GPK and Ilias just staying on the high ground, but realizing they can't really respond to the aggression which comes out from Mudgolems. They'll just lose the Tiny, and that is it.
They were trying to get the toss and break the coil, send him to the puck, but then that silence from Milan comes through. Just buying enough time for the coil to run out, and Save finds himself in a very awkward position. DM getting slow bottom.
Yeah.
Fada,
Giving him
it's
a
like,
little
I'm
bit
out.
of, Fada's just TPing away. That was close.
Ooh.
Jesus. They nearly
Very
cancels
close.
that one. Run, little Hellbear Smasher. Get out of there. Oh no, save, he wants him. I'm not gonna find him. Hellbear Smasher will survive. Don't worry, everyone. He's safe. As Boromir pushes in this mid wave. Doesn't want this mid lane to be uncontested. He wants to make sure there's someone sitting here at all times. Doing that is going to free up more of the map for Skidder and generally alleviate the pressure across the map for his team. And that's about all he can do when his Doom is down.
10
Once again,
minutes. Both teams have very passive cores, so I don't think
yeah.
we can expect any big plays around the mid tower, maybe bottom tower. Yeah, the Viper and the Puck are just going to secure this. Top lane, will they be able to get the trade? Most likely not. It looks like most of Mudgolems are playing on the bottom jungle side. So a little bit of a map lead for VP here, while the Alchemist is also just free farming. He's got some stacks available too in the jungles. So he's going to be very happy about that. Is completing his Battle Fury in just 100 gold.
Yeah, it's interesting looking at it as well. You know, but half the stack's been made by the Witch Doctor. The Ancient stack's been made actually by the Viper. So everybody just kind of pitching in to try and give Epileptic Kid as good a game as possible.
Yeah,
And the same
Ilias
can't be
actually
said for
tried to
Anti-Mage.
stack the
Top
Ancient,
lane,
but he missed
RP
out
comes
here.
down onto the Viper. They're trying to bring him down. Skidder and 33 just trying to lay the damage down onto this Viper. They need to finish the job here, though. They will finally be able to kill him, but the Anti-Mage is in
he's
some
dead.
trouble. He's going to lose his life. Core comes in from GPK as well. Magnus is going to get caught out. The toss back onto the puck to break
Huge.
the coil and get the kill. Really nicely done from VIRTUS Pro as they turn the tables onto Mudgolems and make this Anti-Mage and this Magnus cost dearly for this game.
Oh no, Skidder. He thought that Viper would die so much faster, but as soon as the Nanotoxic came off,
Mid lane, Magnetize comes out. Nice Coconut going to go bouncing around here as the toss comes up into the high ground. Oh no, Deathward comes down.
What a
Do they have an
combo.
answer for this? Doesn't look like it. They will lose Milan. Ilias will fall as well. Boromir is able to just back himself away. So really a pretty minor trade in the end. The supports will just trade for each other. That was going to be awful. It looked like the Coconut did actually end up getting disconnected in the end there. I thought it was still on them both as the toss back came through, but not quite there in the end.
it's completely worth it for VP. That's a pretty high level Earth Spirit, and the pressure onto mid just not working out, especially right after the Anti-Mage dying top as well.
Yeah, that puts him
Yes.
really far behind. I mean, this Alchemist is just kind of kicking off at this point. He's got himself a Battle Fury and Sange coming out to him almost on the courier right now. He is so
Skidder
far
is
ahead.
going for a Manta.
Yeah.
He realizes he can't go for any other farming items at this point. Just has to rely on the Empower and just buy the Manta, maybe get like a kill onto the Puck or something. And here comes the smoke all the way to Skidder here.
He needs
They
to
know he might have TP'd bottom, but he actually didn't. He walked all the way there, so he's going to be able to get out with a
Good
teleport
map
scroll.
awareness. Yep, good map awareness from Skidder gets him out there. Well played. And TP's across to his Magnus as well, so he's going to be happy about that one. Gets himself that in power and going to continue farming up. As Mudgolem's now looking for their aggression. I'm wondering who they're hoping to find. You would expect they're really looking for this Alchemist, but that guy's just so hard to bring down.
If he doesn't get his ult off, I think they can kill him with the Earth Spirit, Magnetize, and the Doom. But he's quite well protected. He's got a ward in his jungle. The Witch Doctor was playing ahead of him, so the smokes would have to break on the Witch Doctor. And now they're going to play bottom side. He's starting to hit the mid tower, maybe get a trade for this top tower. Alchemist already at 10k net worth. 13 minutes into the game.
Wow.
Yep.
He is
Wow, indeed.
extremely farmed.
For the
TP in
mag.
from 33, immediately into the combo from Save here, along with the Maledict as well. It's a lot of
Nice
damage coming
silence.
through onto the Tiny. He's coming in though, trying to go for the RP. Cancelled out though, he doesn't get it off in time. GPK gets off the silence, and Magnus is going to go down along with Boromir. They get one kill onto Ilias. Not worth it at all as they drop the damage down onto Milan. Milan's going to die, and they're going to look across towards the Enchantress as well. They want the +1, and they're going to find it. Milan will fall along with Fata, and that is going to be 4 kills going the way of VIRTUS Pro. All it costs them is their Witch Doctor. A terrible TP from 33, as Save was positioned perfectly to counter it out. They get the nuke damage, and that silence coming in at just the right moment to cancel out the RP. They couldn't bring him down, and now VIRTUS Pro reign supreme once more.
And not only that, the Anti-Mage can't even join the team fights because he's Anti-Mage. So that was a 4v5 fight against an Alchemist who has 10k net worth, and VP has opened up everything they need to on this map. I fully expect this Alchemist just to start running at the enemy now. He's getting very close to an AC too.
Yeah, gets himself away. Well, in a bit of a dangerous situation there, but with the heroes respawning on Mudgolems, VIRTUS Pro did show a bit of hesitation. Yeah, he is well on his way to that assault cuirass. Already got the Hyperstone. Goodness me, Epileptic Kid has had an absolute freebie. He's had 2 absolute freebies, in fact. He's having the freest series of his life at this point.
Yeah. VP, the other 4 players, so good at playing around Epileptic Kid's playstyle. Creating insane amount of space without really giving away too much.
I mean, what are the main moves they've made to enable this Alchemist?
Well, they taken bottom tower, then they had the Viper and the Puck sort of playing near each other, so Mudgolems couldn't really catch them while constantly shoving the lanes out. So Mudgolems, you can see, they don't have a whole lot of lane shoving abilities, so they need to spend a lot of their time pushing stuff out before they can make any smokes, and VP are just kind of abusing that. And just by doing that, like, Alchemist has been pretty much untouched, because all the lanes are pushed into Mudgolems.
Yeah.
And if ever Mudgolems try to make a play, VP is just ready to react to that with their heroes. And they have really good counter-initiating heroes, right? They got the Tiny, they got the Puck. Viper is insanely difficult to bring down with his corrosive skin.
Yeah, and he's gone for that Atos and An build as well, so that's going to make him plenty tanky. On top of that, stats from the Atos and the nice amount of little bit of strength from the An, you know, just a little +1s. Not forgetting the cloak. I mean, honestly, just like the budget magic resist build where you don't go for the hood, you just go cloak and raindrops. I'm seeing this more and more often. It is so strong, especially on Viper when you've got corrosive skin as well.
Very good. Viper, Dragon Knight, these kind of heroes.
Yeah, cloak raindrops.
It's just so good. Tiny almost has a blink dagger now. 50 gold. That's all he needs.
Bit of a beast. Bit of a beast. But 33's picked up his blink dagger as well. Not really comparable timings because only one's the 3 and one's a 4, but at the very least, they have that initiation potential on the side of Mudgolems now. But just as I say that, Alchemist picks up his assault cuirass. So, yeah. All right, maybe. All right, here's a plan, Steven. You ready for this? They go in, right? They get the RP onto 5, and then they get the Puck's mana burnt down with the mana break, and then they get the huge 5-man mana void. Boom, easy game for Mudgolems. Simple plan, really.
Interesting.
Yep.
Very interesting. 5-man RP, huh? That's what it needs.
Yeah, it's easy. Fata, meanwhile, is getting absolutely smacked. Although Ilias is actually going to die for this.
That's a trade.
Yeah,
the tower.
That is a trade.
How much did the tower do to him? Let's take a look. 664 damage.
Yes.
He took a lot of damage.
That's a whoops, I think. Unfortunately, you can't aggro switch when you're casting your ultimate, so unfortunately I had to just sit there and tank it. Not ideal.
Yeah, I try to get away, but it's not able to. So he's built the Glimmer Cape on the Viper. I love this item, by the way, on some cores.
Oh yeah.
It gives you some attack speed, magic resist, and then the ability to either save yourself or your teammates. It's so difficult to play into this Glimmer early on.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it as well. Very much like it. And
It's
kind of
very
doubling
nice.
down this magic resistance thing, as well as giving them some attack speed, which Viper loves. 33. Make him into contact with Epileptic Kid. Here, immediately going to blink himself away. Wants nothing to do with this, but the orb's coming over. He's going to need to leave. He gets up on the cliff, goes for the TP, and VODS Pro. They're not going to bother chasing him any further than this.
So VP now readying up for the Roshan, playing on the top side. This will give a chance for Mudgolems to take the bottom outpost back, but it seems like they rather contest Roshan instead.
Yeah,
it's
they
not
have that
dying
blink RP.
that fast, right?
It's not.
Actually, this smoke is quite slow
Why
too, so it looks like they're done with the Roshan. Yep.
Yeah.
DD. He has a DD.
It's
it was
very,
pretty fast.
very quick. And, well, it looks like there is no plan from Mudgolems. So they're still hanging around. You know, they might find themselves in pretty tasty RP here. They're going for this. It looks like the roll comes through. They get him to the puck. A great target to jump down. RP now onto 2. It's a great RP, but unfortunately, the stun from Electric Kid lands on all 5 of them. They're getting absolutely smashed. They need to get themselves away. Mudgolems trying to leave as Sparta goes down as well. Oh man, it looked good. It looked promising until it absolutely did not. AM just about survives on the edge there. Was that really a 5-man unstable concoction, or was that the coil only?
Yeah, it was a tiny.
It started. It didn't even get used. It was a tiny in the.
No, it was not. It was a tiny avalanche. Exactly. When the once the RP came out, saved through the avalanche on top of them, and that just kept mini stunning the anti-mage. Followed up with the Netatoxin, breaking the AM. So they didn't have a whole lot of damage. Yeah, that was pretty insane. From
Milan goes down
VP
as well.
I thought that was such a good jump onto the puck with the Doom. But they weren't even able to bring him down.
Jesus. That was so close.
They also took the Glimmer Cape onto the puck, according to our observer here.
Good stuff, yeah. Keeping that puck alive with everything they've got. Once again, that Viper's Glimmer Cape coming in pretty damn handy. Stable Concoction being threatened once more. Epileptic Kid won't find it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And I mean, they really did all in on that puck, and it did not pay off. I mean, just really desperate as well from Mudgolems here. They just picked up the Aegis on the side of VIRTUS Pro. I think they still at the tail edge of that double damage on the Alchemist as well, so they're really kind of just all in on the puck and hoping they can find some kind of hallelujah play, but wasn't quite there in the end. .33 in Milan, looking for something, maybe, but again, they don't really want to fight. Doom, you good, buddy? Got himself that BKB. Not going to use it here, though. And with the toss back, breaking the coil, it's a beautiful little combination. And this is going to be the Doom going down. And, poking his head a little bit too far forward, and then it gets taken from his shoulders. Are they stopping here, VIRTUS Pro? Is this a high ground push?
I think it is. They just want to bring this anti-mage back. The Doom's dead. Why not?
Come home, Skitter. Your mother misses you. Fortification used from the Dire here as they just take through the high ground tower. It's gone. Onto the barracks now. VIRTUS Pro. There is no brakes on this train.
Epileptic is like, leave me the creeps. Don't you dare touch those. Let's pushing.
Keep that Greevil's greed up.
Yeah.
And
This is the second game where he's about to have twice the net worth of the carry. Yeah, looks like it.
Yep. Going in. There comes a pretty nice skewer into the stomp from Boromir here as they lock down the... Oh my goodness, but in comes the puck, going for the deep dive. Epileptic hit is low, but he's got that Aegis, so he doesn't really care, and they're just going to be able to drop 33. He's going to lose his life. Boromir pops the BKB. 33 is back with that RP. Maybe they can make something happen with this as they drop a 5 from the backlands. DM is gone. Meanwhile, they're all forwards. Spirit, he's going in pretty deep here, and he's actually going to be kept alive by his team. Now the 2-man RP. Nice RP. It's onto the Alchemist and onto that Tiny. They'll skewer them both back into the base. They're going to lose one. Save might be following as well. Here he gets the toss back onto the anti-mage with Skidder. They want the big target. They want to bring down the Alchemist. They want to bring down the raid boss. The rest of the team just zone out everybody else. Epileptic Kid, it's one versus the world, and I don't think he's winning this one. They'll throw him back into the ring for those towers. The Skidder goes mono with the Alchemist. The rest of the team just kind of watching, and it is going to be the AM to bring down Epileptic Kid, getting that sweet, sweet bounty, and bringing Mudgolems possibly back into this game with a huge double pick off onto that Alch.
Oh, the skewers have been so on point just to make the fight so awkward for VP, making them have to dive past the tower to help this Alch out. And maybe they just stayed a little bit too long while that ultimate was about to wear off on the Chemical Rage. He actually got 2 skewers onto that Alchemist.
Wow. Are we going to comment on the Echo Saber AM, by the way? Have you mentioned this yet?
No, he just kind of split it. I've seen this built up by, I think, God King or someone.
I knew you were going to say that. He's done everything, that kid. Such an experimental player. I love him.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I mean, you got that Empower, so you can get a little bit more quick bursts of damage. He's going for a Halberd next. That's going to give him some evasion.
Anti-Mage getting dropped in his own jungle at this point. As though he
Cape.
does have that Glimmer Cape on, and the team is here. The backup arrives. GPK is also taking some damage. Look at this Enchantress go. She is throwing a bunch of spears into his puck. Nice heals as well. Might actually cancel out his jaunt. Nope, does still get himself back. Pretty cute.
Dire are scanning.
Mudgolems holding up on that high ground as they are being very defensive in this game now. This style, it seems to be suiting them a little bit better than earlier on when they were kind of going for these YOLO plays. Playing responsively does seem to be a little bit easier for this lineup.
They are down one side of racks. I think the best thing that happened to them there was the Alchemist pretty much dying, and he also had an Aegis during that time, so VP were not able to go back and get the lanes all back out and kind of keep Mudgolems inside their base. And right now, Mudgolems do have some freedom in this map to be able to just farm up VP's map advantage, lessening a little bit here.
Yeah, there is some sort of comeback on the cards. What are you saying? What's your likelihood on Mudgolems turning this one around?
Quite high actually. Unless they give VP the next Roshan. If somehow Mudgolems can contest the next Roshan, either they get it themselves or VP lose the Aegis right away, then I think Mudgolems' chance of coming back are quite high. But if VP manage to get the next Roshan without anyone from Mudgolems like contesting it, then I think it's gonna be the same situation.
Yeah, so weirdly, I kind of want to see the supports going and getting some wards down, and yeah, Fada is looking to do exactly that, or at least I think he
Well,
will.
look at the top side right now, right? VP have a bunch of sentries and division.
Yeah.
But we don't see a whole lot coming out from Radiant, which makes me kind of worry right now. It's going to be really difficult to contest the Roche if you don't have any vision around that area.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know, we're kind of running out of time now for the sports to go and place those YOLO wards where they might possibly die. But if they can get those wards down, it'd be super value, because if they die in the next kind of minute or so, then Roshan could respawn, and that's going to be really problematic if you don't have your supports available for that. So I think would have maybe liked to see them pushing in, making some smoke, something like that, to try and get down some vision. But
Well,
at the same
they're
time,
okay
you just
for
can't
now.
approach this VP team. Yeah.
You also know that for the next 30 seconds, Roshan can't spawn at all, right? So
Yeah.
they just want to like get the most out of the map. And they've pretty much made this goal lead stuck around 12, 13k on the side of Mudgolems. And the difference between the Anti-Mage and Alchemist is not so big anymore.
No, Skitter is it's coming back into this one a bit. And also when you consider the fact that, you know, his net worth now compared to heroes like Puck, like the tiny, you know, these heroes which he can actually possibly blow up, is getting bigger. And that's what you really want to focus on as an anti-mage. You know, the core v core is less important than your net worth advantage over these heroes, which you can actually just try and immediately take out of the fight. That's what Skitter wants to do. That's the power of his hero. Let's see if he can find that advantage.
Here it is, a smoke up. They know Roshan can start spawning
Alrighty.
any second now, so they want to get a play. They got the BKB ready on the Alchemist
The
too.
amazing target here. He does have buyback though, and he gets a
Blink
blink
out.
away. Nice reactions there. Apocalyptic's gonna go and stun himself on the front lines, has a Lotus Orb and the BKB available, so he's not that scared. Happy to just sit himself on the front lines, be annoying. Mudgolems
should
are
be
actually
a
backing
big-
out here.
Careful on VP actually, because the Chemical Rage is about to run out. So
What the hell?
if you use your Rage and... Yep, what's up?
Oh, the aim just managed to find a butterfly. This guy's suddenly got himself a huge item.
Yeah, he disassembled his halberd over there. And just fixed up that butterfly, yep.
Pretty big news. I mean, they don't have anything to do with that. Got no evasion piercing abilities, so that's a problem.
The best thing they have against the Anti-Mage is going to be the Coil and the Nanotoxin. As long as you get that out wherever the Anti-Mage blinks in and pops the Manta, you should be able to diminish the AM's damage output.
Yeah, is there any counterplay to that?
For what, the Nanotoxin?
For the Nanotoxin and Coil combo into the Anti-Mage, because obviously you can't just
Well,
like, Manta
he's
it
going to
off
have to
right
buy... Yeah, you're going to have to buy BKB. I mean, as long as you have a
Yeah.
BKB, you should be okay against it. But I'm not
kinda
entirely
slouch
sure if he's
around.
going to go for the BKB on Anti-Mage. He wants to go for like this really fast, move around the fights, go into the backline kind of.
Jumping
way of
onto the
playing
Tiny here. They might have found a pick off onto Saver though. Doom's taking a decent amount of damage. An RP onto 2. That is quite nice, but the Eels actually cancels out the Skewer. Fantastic usage there as Doom gets on top of it. The Doom comes down onto the Alchemist. AM's not quite arriving to this fight. He does now get himself into the backlines, immediately silenced up though, and inside that Nether Toxin, he is not that tanky. The Alchemist, despite being Doom, he's absolutely fine. Anti-Mage is losing this fight. He needs to try and turn it around as Boronier jumps in with the 2-man stun. Now he could be in some trouble though as he's getting whittled down by the side of VIRTUS Pro. They've dropped pretty low on the side of VP here, but not nearly low enough, so I'm not sure what that mana void was, as Skinner gets not much done, and now he needs to leave. They lose both the Doom and the Magnus, and as you say, that is indeed Roche for VIRTUS Pro. Unfortunately, dropping the Doom onto the Alchemist just did not work out for the side of Mudgolems. A messy fight. They thought they got the free pick-off onto Tiny, but it wasn't quite the case.
They started the fight with the RP, and the Anti-Mage wasn't even close to that engagement. Without him, they don't actually do a whole lot of damage on Mudgolem's side, so maybe jumping the gun a little bit. They just have to wait. I think that Doom was actually pretty good, but if AM was only there from the start, they could have actually secured a kill onto the Tiny and Wish Doctor. Oh, toss back, core snap.
Anti-Mage stunned for a very long time. In comes Epileptic. They've got the silence out as well. He has got the Manta. He needs to pop it. Oh, he just got the counter spell off in time instead. And now blinks himself away, goes for the TP. GPK will not find him with the Yules. Oh,
wait a moment.
Just in time, AM gets away. I mean,
Nomad, this might be enough space for them to contest the Roshan once again. It still has 4,000 HP left.
They need to go.
Are they going to be able to sneak something?
They can't waste time.
Boronier is like... Boronier knows that they cannot afford to give this BKB.
Team need to get him now. Roshan getting very low. Boronier coming in from the side. He jumps in with the storm. It's so low. Milan comes in from the side as well. They bring down Roshan. Epileptic is going to pick up the Aegis now. Fight up against the Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage is getting absolutely hammered. He's out of the equation. 83 seconds. He is dead. Has buyback as Fada. Will not quite be so lucky as he's on that high ground and just gets hammered away out by the side of VIRTUS Pro. She doesn't have buyback, and she drops a gem as well, which will go into the hands of VIRTUS Pro very shortly. Also, oh man, it was so close to being perfect from the side of Mudgolems, but sadly, inside that scuffle, it was the Alchemist who was able to pick up both the Aegis and the Cheese. And now that is in the hands of VIRTUS Pro. I'm not sure there's much fighting here, but they're going to try and make something happen as they roll in onto the Alk here, pop that Magnetize onto 3 heroes, maybe making something of this. If they jump the backlines here, they might be able to bring down the Witch Doctor. They're throwing in their Anti-Mage onto the front line. They try to go with one. No! Again, with the interrupt there from the Tiny, they cancel out the RP. Skidder and 33 are going to go down. They do not have buyback on these heroes. This may well be the end with the Anti-Mage dead for 100 seconds. They're not calling it just yet, but they probably should leave them because I don't think there's any more fight left in this team.
Nah, there really isn't. They're going to be able to throw this. 90 seconds is just way too long for a carry to be dead.
Man, it was a really good attempt from the side of Mudgolems. It really was.
It was.
I mean, the
really
space
was.
made from the Anti-Mage, balancing very finely, but in the end, VIRTUS Pro, they keep a tight ship, this team.
Yeah, it looked really goofy, but that's what you have to do. If you give the second Roshan, like Aegis, to Dire, the game's over anyway, so they had to try to do something to steal it.
Yeah. They're playing it out. Buyback from Milan as save goes into the fountain here. Epileptic Kid still focusing on that Aegis. I mean, they have an RP. This could be something as the Doom goes down onto the puck. Epileptic Kid just focusing on that Ancient. 33. 4-star for Cross, tries to go for the cheeky RP plays, but he just can't quite catch him. Trying to close the gap onto this Alchemist here, but unfortunately there's so many heroes around 33. He needs to land the 2-man if he's going to be able to do this. Unfortunately, just lands on the Alchemist as he pops out BKB. Still trying to play around here, but 30 seconds until the Anti-Mage is back, and until he's back, they just don't have the damage to make these kinds of plays. You gotta respect it. They hold on till a very bitter end, but a bitter end will come their way regardless. The Mudgolems get taken down. It is a clean 2-0 for the side of VIRTUS Pro. Bears, well, they crunch up that rock into nothingness and the Mudgolems get taken out. What a clean game. I mean, highlight of the series, I think you got to look the way of Epileptic Kid. His team just gave him such a free game and he did magical things with the space that was given to him.
Oh yeah, he most definitely did. They have a very good idea of how to play the game, what to draft for their players, and I think this was a much better representation of Anti-Mage overall as a hero than game number 1 was. So very difficult hero to play, man. But props to Mudgolems. I think they did the best they could with what they had. But at the end of the day, VP just a little bit too strong.
Just a bit too strong. Yeah, they're running a tight ship. They're doing very, very well, and it's a pleasure to watch this kind of young team just develop in front of our eyes. And they are developing at such an astonishing rate. I mean, every single game we watch of them, they just seem to feel better and better and better. And today was no exception. Alrighty, well, that's gonna be it from us. I hope you enjoyed the casting, but we're now gonna sail off into the sunset. But don't worry, there's plenty more Dota 2 action to come throughout the day here on the Epic League, and of course, we've got a lovely panel and hopefully a lovely interview to come after that. So we'll throw you over into the more than capable hands of Tsunami and the crew, and we'll see you very shortly for more games tomorrow. See you in a bit.
Flawless performance, honestly. That was a clinic by VP, definitely helmed by Epileptic Kid having the freest series of his life, but the entire team was putting on a real performance and making Mudgolems look like completely out of their depth. It was not necessarily even like drafting errors the whole way through. Even though both you guys were leaning VP for that second game, it still seemed relatively even, but once the horn rang, it was no longer even.
No, we're just going for. We were just going for a.
No, yeah, I thought we were
contest.
just Yeah,
it wasn't a mute.
We're having
worry.
like the silent contest.
Yeah.
All right.
Like,
And more importantly, I would like to say there's a bit of an elephant in the room, guys. All right, that's what we're both quiet for. Me and Trent, we don't really want to say it, but we've just learned today that Trent, come on, let's agree now. The Puck v Doom matchup, it isn't as devastating as we thought. All right, the OG series, we might have thought it was very Doom favored, but today we learned it's not. It's a player matchup. And yeah, that was a really good performance from GPK.
Player focus. So GPK came out on top, and who failed that matchup?
Thompson.
It's
the elephant in the room. I'm sorry, we had to mention it. We had to mention it, guys. All right, and that's why me and Trent, we didn't want to open up this panel, but
figured it out.
We did.
Oh, did I hear we have an interview?
We do.
Oh, fantastic!
With the DM?
Perfect. We do indeed. It is indeed DM. Pleasure to have you join us. Let me know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I hear you well.
Fantastic. A hell of a game. Hell of a series.
Give me a sec, guys. 1 sec. Парни, закройте ебальники, у нас сейчас везде слышно.
This man is furious about playing.
Yeah, we just yeah, now it's calm. So what's the question?
I don't want it to be calm. I want it to be action-packed. You guys must be hyped up after winning that. You guys must be hyped up after just like running a train on this entire group stage so far. So far undefeated. Tell me, what were your expectations coming into this tournament? Because if it was undefeated, then you guys have a lot of confidence and clearly you've delivered. But I'm assuming that you had something a little bit more, middle of the round robin, maybe?
To be honest, since we got our dream roster, we're super confident in every single of the games. So we expect just Secret to be really good, but it feels like they lost some motivation here, so it might be more smooth game for us later, but we'll see. For now, we're just hitting our expectations.
Wow, I'll say you guys are very fun to watch. Incredibly enjoyable games, very aggressive. Like, what is the communication like during the games? Are you guys kind of rowdy? Who's the loudest in the team?
I mean, to be honest, loudest, I think it's safe till minute 20, and then it's Epileptic Kid doing all the calls. So it's something like that. But to be honest, we're all talking much, clicking much, giving information to the team. Sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's triggering someone, but overall it's very fine.
All right, so for that series then, who on your team, you can include yourself if you want, who would you give MVP to?
I think Safe Tiny. Safe Tiny is super good.
There we go.
Really
That's a good answer, yes. Nice, thank you. I was worried you're going to say Epileptic Kid, because of course he's the carry, but no, yeah, I'd agree. It was Safe.
I mean, Safe is giving the ability for Igor Kid to farm whenever he wants and wherever he wants. Yeah. So yeah, it's about him.
Nice.
So you said dream roster. Was this in formation for a while? Because I know coming from Prodigy, this has been in the works for quite a few months, so you seem pretty satisfied. Is it all these 4 players that you're like, we're clicking, everything makes sense, it feels good, and you just are loving playing with these 4 players, it seems?
It's just exactly as Dream Roster wanted to make like years ago, so yeah, now we got a lot of experience from past teams, and we're playing together, experienced, and with good amount of skill, I think.
Wow. We've asked a couple players this. Are there any heroes right now that you really want to play, like in your role, but you feel like they're maybe just not quite good enough, or your teammates maybe don't agree?
If you ask me, I think Axe is kinda good, but I don't see a game where I can play it right now. And
Right.
I think I practiced a lot on Enigma for this tournament, so probably I'll play it. Let's see.
Do you enjoy playing Viper?
I think yes. The meta is
Wow.
going right now, like safe lane is 10 times stronger than offlane usually. So if there is a hero which allows you to play 50-50 lane or win it, being first faced, it's really good. So yeah, I can enjoy it.
That makes a lot of sense.
Your next matchup is going to be versus Nigma. It seemed like you were only concerned about Secret, although you did say they have maybe lost some motivation. So clearly, VP is here to take the crown. But on the way up there, I'm sure you saw Kuroki return.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about that matchup?
We scrimmed Enigma like 4 or 5 games. I think they're playing 10 times better now because Kuro comeback made them more motivated, and they're playing map much better now. So Enigma is very strong as well. We respect them.
Perfect. Well, looking forward to seeing that match tomorrow, and at least try to make it a little bit of a competitive series. People here are looking for entertainment. Let's just not make it a straight 2-0 shutout. But congratulations on this performance for sure.
Thank you, gents.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a great day, guys. Good luck.
You too.
You too.
Much love to DM for that interview. I mean,
nice.
the man likes playing Viper. The man he was seemed like VP's got a good head on their shoulders.
I love the first thing he said. Like instantly, he's like, "We got the dream team." He's like, "Are we getting a movie
All-Stars,
made
baby.
about this after?" Like,
They're about to space jam on this tournament.
yeah, they've got some magic happening for sure. I mean, especially because they're all so young. He makes it sound like it's been decades trying to form this dynasty.
Dude, they're like barely 20, and they're like, we've had years of experience, like 18 to 20. Like, god damn,
It's
these
amazing.
guys. Oof.
Yeah.
Bright futures for sure.
Yeah, hell of a performance from them. Unfortunate showing from Mudgolems. I think overall, in terms of like Cinderella stories, these two teams are kind of under the radar for a lot of people. And Mudgolems in this series just did not really seem to hold a candle to VP's performance. Mudgolems' next series is not for a while, so they have a lot of days off to. Well, they only have 2 days, or never mind. They have 5 days off, but their next series is going to be Alliance. So hopefully they reevaluate.
The key thing here is though, if you look at the two teams and like the stories that they had so far, VP, what have they really had to show? They've come into this tournament, we've seen 3 best of 3s, and kind of that's about it, right? Mudgolems, they've been one of the teams that have been created for these online tournaments. We've seen them a lot. They've been kind of figured out by a lot of these teams. And normally when we look at Fata and the teams he creates, the first 2-3 months is like their best showing. And then they eventually do kind of get to that point where you're going to go, okay, what's next for this team? Where are they going to reinvent? And I kind of feel like if they're not in their complete comfort, they do look a little bit kind of subpar to how dominant they have been in previous history. So hopefully in that time off, they can at least assess what they need to do to get to that kind of level of performance that we have from previous Mudgolem games.
Yeah.
And how about looking at the Enigma series versus VP? Trent, how you feeling between those two teams?
Ooh, yeah. So I don't think Nigma plays before that either, right? Yeah. So that'll just be straight up tomorrow, actually. Okay, so it's coming up very soon. I don't know. Nigma has obviously like they lost to Mudgolems, for example.
So transitive property.
Yeah, but then also I can't remember if that was before Kuro returned. Was he here for this whole tournament? Because that was like a week ago.
That was the announcement, is that he's going to be playing all of Epic
Oh,
League,
okay,
so.
yeah, because that was like their first series. So I just want to make sure that he like was definitely there. But I mean, that was the only series they dropped, right? So Nigma, I'm sure, have been like building stronger and stronger with the return of Kuro. So I only feel like they're going to be getting better and better. I expect that one to at least go 3 games. And I don't know, these guys sound so motivated on VP that I kind of believe in them for that series.
It's that, but you can't, like, they're riding the momentum right now, right? They're just winning, but it's just hard because I think VP, they're doing so well right now. But if there's going to be a team to kind of put that brick wall up and say, no, you can't just suddenly become a top team like as quickly overnight, it will probably be like the Nigmas or the Secrets. So yeah, I think for sure it'd be a very close series. And I echo what Trent said, most likely 3 games.
Let's hope so.
Hopefully, as fingers crossed. But that'll be it for this series, but not it for the day. That's just the first series of the day. Next up, we're going to be going to Alliance versus Viking GG. It's going to be after a short break, so be sure to stick around, and we'll be back for more Epic League action right after the break.
EGB, your esports betting world. The only place to find the widest choice of popular games and matches to win real money. Choose your bet on a single event or express of several matches with dizzy odds. Serving the market for 7 years with over 800